Hey, what's going on, Josie? I'm setting up. You're going to have to give me a bit. Adam, hello. Chels, thanks for redeeming first. I'm across the room right now as I'm setting up everything. Oh, I can hear myself like 3 times. Hold on. I don't know why that pops up as the stream elements one. Chels, thanks for the resub with Prime. 33 months. I don't know why that popped up there. It didn't pop up in my stream elements. In my... Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. Give me 1 second. That's why. Okay, resub should work now. Thank you, Stream Elements Bot, for being in my Twitch chat, or in my YouTube chat to tell me things. Okay. We're almost good. I have a bunch of stuff still to set up, but we're getting it done. Basically, my goal is to try to get this stuff done. I want to stream, but I also need to paint. So the goal is that we're just going to have a painting stream, hang out, and have a good time. I should also, like, not have my 2.0 model up and stuff. So let's make sure that I don't have that. I'm going to probably turn up the music a little bit while I get this stuff going. It's going to be a little bit loud until we're done here. That is definitely the wrong model. Do not want to be there.
Before Roblox.
Oh, I clicked on a video, which would have been very interesting to watch, but not right now. Okay, I think we're good. My camera needs to focus a little bit. We'll fix it when we get there. Right, Cat? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello. Happy Thursday, guys. It's going to be a long... Oh, my God. We're in the middle of an ad break on Twitch. No way. The one time that I go through and I'm like, okay, we're going to be on time to start painting and all this stuff, man, is the time that I hit an ad break. One sec. I got to make this look a little bit clearer. Also, I can hear myself again, and it's driving me insane. Okay, there we go. Good enough, good enough, good enough. Jingle the keys. All right, we will jingle the keys in 2 seconds, Chelsea. I am just getting myself all set up before we start today. I tried to go live on X, but the API just did not want me to do it. You know, sometimes there's a world where you're just not allowed to go live on places that you want to go live on. Okay, I forgot to do this. This is me looking forward. This is me looking down here at the model. Cool, we are good to go. I have coordinated all that stuff. We are all set. I need music to paint to. Dude, I love ERB. I love Herb. But, like, I don't want to listen to a full mix of just Herb songs. Give me something else to listen to. Here we go. Oh, here we go. How's this? Okay, I got a bunch of stuff to paint today. We are good to go. Break is over. We will jingle said keys. We will start painting. We will be ready to go. I got a couple bases to paint today. I have a bunch of stuff essentially to get ready to go. So I think either way it's going to be excited. Actually, you know what we can open up with? I'm stealing Xanus's bit, but it's okay. Before we do that, though, let's jingle some keys, because I forgot to. Where's the button? This one. And then where are the keys? Keys are right here. Jingle, jingle. Jingling the keys for engagement. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingling the keys for engagement. Jingle, 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 jingle. Jingle, 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 jingle. Got to make sure that your attention stays on the stream. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingling the keys. Jingle, jingle, jingle. That's the wrong one. This is the right one. Okay, cool. We are back. We're doing some painting. I don't know why I feel like I'm like, look at how hype I am about all this. Okay. I don't know what playlist I had before. So, it is what it is. All right. I gotta wet my sponge so I can get some paint on there. It was a little bit wet from last night. I don't know how to tell you guys, but I'm like still constantly painting. Like even when, hold on, I gotta turn this more this way. Like even when I'm like not on stream, I'm like painting a lot. So like I prepped these guys yesterday by like painting them all purple and being ready to go for Chaos Spawn. But we need bases to dry, right? So like we have all these guys to work on. So we'll work on that in a sec. We're going to start assembly lining stuff. So we're working on my Chaos Spawn today because they're a little bit easier to work on. And then maybe cleaning up some other stuff. What I need to do is I need to make sure that if my Chaos Spawns sit in a place, they are going to sit okay. Which it looks like right now they sit kind of fine. It shrunk a little bit, but that's not a big deal. So these guys need to sit like right there. So what I need to do is I need to take the texture paint and I need to paint around the model, right? So which means I don't even need to use this yet. So let me go grab some texture paint. We're going to use some Astro Granite. Originally I was going to do Zandalari Dust, but I don't think it works as well in this. So we will take, let's take some Astro Granite. And we'll do 2 bases. And then we should be good to go. Actually, I don't know which is which when it comes down to it. I don't remember which one I did. I think I did this one here. Yeah, because this guy has like a very high, like... This guy like sits high. Right? So that means I can't paint the top of the rock here I mean, I can paint the top of the rock, but I'm not going to. Okay, let me grab the Astro Granite. Let me grab some stuff, and we'll be good to go. One second. It's been so long since I used the Astro Granite, it basically just separated. Like, it, like, separated, like, all together, which kind of sucked. But, I mean, it is what it is, right? We're being productive today. We're trying to do stuff that's new, interesting, and cool. So the idea is, as I'm across my room reaching for stuff, the idea is that I have a ton to paint before 11th edition, which is next week, which means I'm not going to get it done in time. Which means what I would rather do is sit here and paint all this stuff, then basically just get it done. Also, why is my multi-chat not giving me Twitch? It is giving me Twitch, but it's not giving me Twitch? I don't know, man. It's fine. All right, so we're going to start with the Astro Granite. We're going to go, because this takes forever to dry. So if I do it now, what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to essentially get like a big coat on all of it and essentially just like fix up painting everything and just kind of be like all together ready to go and get an idea of how this is going to look. Unfortunately, I decided to apply this with a dry brush because I'm silly, but that's okay. I gotta wait for this to like kind of like really get in there. So the problem is that as I go around and I try to get in there, I'm not really getting it. And the other problem is that because this is a texture paint, if I use anything else, I feel like it's gonna just ruin the brush. So, oh, I forgot to put on like another song. Here we go. I was looking for something else. I don't remember what I was looking for. I do have a drink, which is good. Okay. So, like, we're scooping a little bit more than normal, and we're just essentially going to go around here. Right? And we're just going to essentially just scrub and apply this. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I forgot to tweet that I was like, I tweeted that I was getting ready to go live, but I didn't tweet that I went live. I should really just bot that. Honestly, it shouldn't be that hard to write a bot nowadays with the access that everybody has to everything. Unironically, I've been thinking about making like a stream bot to like handle stuff for me. My buddy Heck has a bunch of stuff for me already there. But, like, you know, the idea is, like, how much time do I want to work on prepping and other stuff, too? I almost want to hit this with, like, a dark wash afterwards. This is giving, like, concrete look, which is not exactly what I wanted to go for, but it's not killing me. You know? I think I can, like, fix this up by just making it a little bit darker. I want this to be, like, stone. You know, like granite. But I think I do that by just hitting it. Oh god, that guy just got knocked off because I was going a little too hard. All right, I gotta let the paint dry, and then I will really go in there and re-glue that guy down because that guy did not want to stick. I unironically might make the epoxy sculpt a little wetter and just go in there and like re-put it down. So there you go. I mean, like, that's not a bad, like, first base, right? I haven't really done this base method before. So the idea is that we're using epoxy sculpt to get, like, the raised parts. And then you use, like, corkboard for the rocks and whatever, so. Adam, I did notice you said for the Emperor later. I don't know how to tell you this, man. I've been just making nothing but chaos. I mean, it's fine. It is what it is, man. Okay. Let's get this going in right here. Let's get a bunch more on here. Unfortunately, my priming looks like it didn't hit a tiny little bit here, but like that's understandable, right? Like, you know, if I'm not like super paying attention, I could accidentally put like the primer in the wrong spot. Man, this is one anime that I need to finish. I never actually finished the Cyberpunk anime. I hear it's very, very good. I got a little bit far into it, and then I was like, I guess I got distracted. I don't know what happened. Where I was just like, okay, I really don't want to. I don't think it was like, I don't think that I didn't have time. I think I was just doing other stuff. Hi, cat. What you doing? Thank you, Zunny. Go back to bed. All right. Ugh, gross. Well, good thing we have paper towel right there, man. Okay. So let's dip into that. We're going to go straight through. And we're just going to, like, graciously apply this all over the place. Hey, what's going on, Corvin? How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. You're currently building some Legionnaires? Hell yeah, dude. That's the 30K, right? Let's go. Horus Heresy stuff rocks, man. Horus Heresy stuff rocks so hard. Yeah, technically it's 30K. But you could play it as whatever you want. Because at the end of the day, you know, it's all about imagination. But regular CSM... Oh, duh! I'm so dumb. Not sitting here going like... You're right. You're right. They're just CSM Marines at the end of the day. I'm thinking of the building Iron Warriors. Let's go, man. Do you have yourself a Vashtor? I don't know if they're playing Vashtor. Your World Eaters are mostly done already? Hell yeah. Dude, I have a... I'm not gonna... Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up without doxing myself. Give me 1 second. Well, I don't even need to pull it up, but I have a box. I literally have a Fulgrim sitting right to my left. Like, ready to go. Ready to build. But, like, I am so intimidated to build giant models. Because, I've only been doing this for, like, a year. Right? So, like, it's about a year. Honestly, You're starting this because you want Peter Turbo? Dude, Peter Turbo is going to be great. If you tackle it piece by piece, it'll be the most fun you've ever had. Yeah, so, I mean, like, I love doing, like, Demon Princes and other stuff like that, too, right? I don't know if I've shown you my stuff, Corvin. Give me, like, 1 sec. Also, my sponge is super dirty. I might rinse it underwater. Give me 1 sec. 1 sec while I go wash my brush. My brush. 1 sec. I'm going to leave this music on because it's, like, an hour retro wave mix. 1 sec. Oh, I spilled water all over the place. It's fine. Okay, I didn't spill water all over the place, but I spilled water in a bunch of places. So you said that building and painting big models is your favorite? Hell yeah, dude. I built, hold on, let me see if I can go grab my Demon Prince. One second. So, buying into a model, or buying into stuff right as an edition came out, right? So like I bought into Emperor's Children, right? So I've been like doing like, here's like my Demon Prince that I made the other day, right? And that was super sick. One of my first models ever was 1,000 Suns Demon Prince. So I really like how this came out. The thing is though, is that like, I don't know if you know this, Corvin. You probably know this better than I do. But like painting is just fine. Like being good at painting, likelihood of us getting to see the kitties. We're probably not seeing the cats today, Josie, because if they jump up on my desk, they're gonna get paint everywhere. There's a lot of wet stuff here, and if I invite them up onto my desk, they're gonna knock everything over. So it's very, very unlikely. Yeah, but Corvin, so what I was saying is that about the like, one of my first models that I did was 1,000 Suns Demon Prince. And I painted it like the pink horror, pink is the skin, and all this other stuff. It was actually not bad. I think it was one of the better models that I did. So, but one of the problems that I have is like making models and like working with new colors and like understanding consistency is what I meant to say, not consistiveness, consistency. Because like the consistency of the paints are like always like the roughest part. One sec. All right, we got a piece of paper going down here. If you don't do it already, hold on to sprues, spray them up, and then practice leftover bits on the sprue itself. I actually have a bucket of sprues that I sit down with, and I like kind of, you know, I actually use it for spares, for like kit bashing, but you're 100% right. I should probably be using it for practice. Okay, that goes there. Although I will say this though, I have a bunch of friends that like, are like into Warhammer, right? That I play with IRL, and they're not even close to being into painting. So, are you using water or oil-based paint? I'm using acrylic paint. So, like, you can also keep the tray itself and paint that if you want to use the bits. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about doing, right? Like, the runner, as it's called? Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I was watching someone that does edge highlighting with it, and is like, here's how you practice edge highlighting. And then he basically shows, like, you know, like the outside sprue and going over it and whatnot. Okay, so this still fits in pretty well. So, oh, it doesn't. A little bit went wrong. It, like, moved a little bit, which is a shame. Well, maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm just bad. That stinks. Hold on, let's try to get the back paw in. Oh, no, we're good. We're good, kind of. It's good enough. The other thing is to get a textured palette. Yeah, so I just bought one. I was talking to people forever, and they didn't know what a texture is. And I was like, I just want a textured palette to practice dry brushing. So I bought one off of Amazon for 15 bucks. I tried to make my own because there was a couple sites to do it online. But, like, dry brushing is probably the weakest thing that I'm good at, right? Like, I'm not good at dry brushing at all. So the idea is that I want to do this. I'm boarding a cute little puppy within my dog boarding business, and I swallowed him yesterday, and when I unswaddled him, he got mad at me. Yeah, I get that, Josie. The Army Painter Starter Kit is still my go-to for brushes, for dry brushing. I have to see what they have for a starter kit for brushes. I'm using Army Painter brushes exclusively, just because it's what my local shop carries. Like, my local hobby shop carries. Because, like, my local hobby shop's the place that I go to, like, they, like, do, like, a bunch of different stuff. The only problem that I have is that, like, the brushes split. And I don't know what to do about that. like, I don't know if you could see that, but it's fraying a little bit. You'll find out shortly once you get in the shipment. Hell yeah. Thank you, Chels. So, like, I don't know if you could see, but, like, this detail brush is, like, fraying a little bit. And even though I use, like, the Master's Touch, I use, like, the Master's Touch soap, and, like, you know, I rinse it, and I go through, and I do everything heavily with it, and I try to get it back to a point. I can't really get it back to a point. Do they hold a point when wet? Let's see. Just got it wet. Yeah, they not really. They kind of like fray out. Hot water like near boiling. Yeah. I have some very fancy brushes and they go out like that. So like when I go down with that, right? Like they kind of like fray out after I do it. So, yeah, I'm going to have to probably just put them in hot water to like close to boiling water to like retame them. I have a couple extra brushes just in case for today. So, like, I have a second base coat brush I picked up. You know. It's rough, man. It's rough. You know, life's hard. Oh, okay. I thought I left stuff in the... I mean, I did a little bit for the... I would be careful with boiling water. Yeah, because you don't want to get the glue in there, right? I mean, sable brushes will be better. Your sable brushes will be there... will be there for detailing. Yeah. I have them still in the side for detailing, so I'm not too worried about it. Normally in the fraying is from the paint in the... Oh, in the ferrule? Okay. So I have to, like, soak it in, like, vinegar, right? Like... So just a big, deep clean to get it cleaned out. Okay, that makes sense. Let me go through and hit this with texture paint, and then we will start painting my pink auras. Yeah. I mean, I think the reason why they tell you to use the boiling water is that you don't dip, so you dip just the tip. Oh my god, my camera froze. Hold on. Me talking, using stuff for examples, my camera's frozen. Deactivate. Activate. Uh-oh. It's a nylon brush? Okay. Guys, I think my camera died. 1 second. So boiling water is the method to reshape it? All right, let's see if this works. If you do boiling with synthetics, yeah, just don't get into the ferrule and you'll mostly be fine. Yeah, I was trying to show... Unfortunately, Corbin, before my thing died. Also, brushes that are, that are consumables anyways. Yeah. Hello, camera. Any day now. Activate. Guys, I don't think my camera is being liked right now. Give me 1 second as we get this going. I have to launch my Elgato 4K thing? Video game stream now? No, I'm not. I mean, if we need to, the new ZZZ season came out. I was just preferring to not, stream that today. 1 second. Where's my 4K capture thing from? Elgato. Oh, my lord, guys, I hate this. I hate this so much. All right, Elgato, where is this? 4K. End task. Device in use by other hardware. Okay. Oh, cool. We got an ad break in 4 minutes. Okay, now it wants to work because I threatened it. I was like, I'm going to just open you in another piece of software. And it was like, no, we're going to work now. We're going to work now. Yeah, I don't even go rough on these brushes. I think what happens is that I go to soak it and my paint water is not the cleanest. And because of that, it just gets into the tips. So what I'll do is I'll get some like apple cider vinegar or something and go through and just clean it. All right, we're going to use Astro Granite on this again and like kind of just like go back over this and see what happens. We'll hit this next one with Astro. The only reason I'm doing the bases right now is because since it's so easy just to go through and just, like, do the bases now, because this texture paint's gonna take, like, a day and a half to dry. You know? I actually have to go back and I have to order another base for my Mauler Fiend because I don't like the way it came out, so I'm gonna, like, crack it off that. And then I'm gonna go buy a new base, I think. Because, like, my old base isn't bad. It's just that, like, it was my first attempt at something, like, flat. And it just did not come out the way I wanted it to. I don't know why I'm painting. Oh my god, it froze again. What is going on, game? Come on, camera. There we go. I now feel like I'm gonna have to, like, make a button to make it where my stuff doesn't deactivate that easily. I also did it again where I went into the... dude, what is going on? Hello? I don't know why it doesn't like it. I don't know why it doesn't like it. You finally ordered your own airbrush? What airbrush did you end up going with? I don't have to go to my buddies to borrow it anymore. Dude, I lived like that for such a long time. My buddy and I basically shared an airbrush. And then he ended up getting his own when he moved out. But, like, for a little bit before he moved out, you have the Hardner and Steinbeck, Steinbeck? I'm going to assume it's Steinbeck. 2024 Evo 2-in-1. Hell yeah, dude. I just have an Iwata, like the Iwata brand one, the Iwata Eclipse. You've been painting by hand for long enough? Dude, I feel that. But I feel like as much as I, like, am like, hey, I want to airbrush all this stuff to make it work. The Eclipse HPC is very good. Yeah. It's very, very good. I absolutely love my airbrush to death. It's a pain because it gets, you know, whatever, but... yeah, this one is bought... I bought because I could flip from 20 to 50 to 45 needles. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. I was watching something today, and I feel like I want to throw my hat in a little bit of discourse. I really like Games Workshop. I really like Games Workshop, but I don't like how they're like, hey, we want to go app first, but they don't have a solution for codexes, right? Like, either you make codexes free, right? Datasheets free, with, like, a caveat, right? Or you have to allow people to buy them online, like the code online. You can't do what they're doing right now, which is making it so that you... right now what they're doing, essentially, is making it so that you have to buy a physical codex to get the code. And it's freaking crazy. If the 11th is an indication of them being 25, then I think they found the solution. Wait, what's the... they can't handle the piracy? I mean... yeah, but, like, here's the thing, right? If you go out of your way, right, and there was, like, a thing that I could pay $10 for a book, right, or I could pay, like, you know, I get, like, $10 for a physical code, right? Then I could just go out there and do it. Yeah. I mean, it's GW. Like, what do I expect, right? Like, I don't know why they do what they do, but they do what they do. What are we listening to right now? I think it's fine, but, like... here we go. We'll listen to Pulse Remix. Codexes only used to be $20. Granted, you needed them back then, but, like, I don't mind 25 for a code in a book. The problem is that I want to be able to use the, like, they're pushing the GW app, right? They really want you to use the GW app. I'm fine with that. Look, I'm a new recruit user, right? I literally paid new recruit a yearly subscription so that I could use their stuff because I really like new recruit. I think the guy's done a fantastic job there. Everything about that app and that web page is like where it's at, right? But like, oh man, this is a little too wet. Hold on. But like, do you know how easy it would be for GW to just be like, hey, look, we're gonna offer $30 a year, or maybe even like, fuck it, $60 a year, because people would pay it. $60 a year, you get access to all this stuff. Okay, hear me out. I've been playing Dark Angels for years. I have 6 codex. I just want to use my bottle. Correct. 100%. There is no reason why you should have to buy a new model. What they should do is they should make it so that you buy a codex once, and then every time you buy a new codex, it's like $5, right? There's no reason, like a new codex code, I should say. But like, hold on, let me see if I can find it. I have some. Okay, so like, I'm a collector, right? The GW app being $60 a year for Warhammer plus a mini, and if it goes down to 25, then like the core book, then I'm not. Yeah, I agree. But like, I have like the Votan collector book, right? If there's something that I like a lot, I will go out of my way and pay for it. I know the whole code thing, but they also cater to tournament players, and you normally need a book with you. Yeah, that's true. But like, here's the thing, right? Like, you know, like, think about how rad you can make books, right? Like, the binding of this page, everything about this is like super special. You know, I haven't unsealed it yet. It's literally going to live on my shelf. And with the amount of players going, I'd be willing to bet that there's a significant amount of money. I guess what I'm trying to say is that they need a way for people to go online and just simply just buy stuff. You know, buy like, you know, buy all this stuff. I don't know, man. I just feel like we live in current year, right? Let's treat it like it's current year, you know? Again, am I very upset about it? No way. Am I like a little bit like, hey, let's God, cat hair, dude. Cat hair, can you not be everywhere, man? I just want to be able to like buy something, and like, even if I have to like pay a subscription or whatever, it's fine. But like, come on. There's no reason that like I have to go through and I want to try something new, right? And then if I want to try something new, I have to pay a bunch of money and find a place to go get a book. Oh, I was trying to figure out where I put my base coat thing. There it is. So, okay, so guys, we based our we did an undercoat. We're doing an undercoat of we're doing an undercoat of the heck is this? Xeris purple on these guys, right? I think that with the amount of free resources, they stop concerning themselves, but Codex is carrying forward and not needing indexes is amazing. Yes, that is true. I think us not going back to another indexed version is fantastic. Yeah, I think they're just like, screw it. You know what? People are just going to keep pirating. Might as well let people keep pirating. So we're going to hit this with a little bit of... Let me grab... do I need a little bit of water on here? Let's see. You could use a tiny little bit of water. Let me ask this random. You have a cell phone? Did they make you sign a contract? They did. But did you sign a paper or a tablet? We live in... Yes! No, but you are... Chris, you are 100% right over on YouTube. People are in a modern era. You do not need books all the time. I do not miss new edition spending $250 on books. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, I mean, you can hate a little bit, Chris. You know, like, there's this idea that, like, you know, we don't have to be we can enjoy the hobby and have criticisms and be like, upset about stuff. And just because I'm willing to, like, you know, what is this? Oh. Oh, it's Be My Honey, dude. Oh, God. Music's very, very quiet, but that's just so that I can just chat over it. Dude, people, so my 2 armies that I play. God, Final Fantasy 14. If I heard that song, I'd be stuck in Prague again. It's the Pulse version of it. Dude, that Prague was rough, man. That's one of the last Pragues I did. And I'm not good at Final Fantasy 14, so it's like, it is what it is, you know? I need a group for Evercold, though. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, like, my group is still, like... Well, my group's not together because we weren't looking to stay a Prague group. I haven't played the game in, like, ever. I've been... Like, I mostly play World of Warcraft right now. So my thought here is, right? So, okay, so there's a lot of stuff, like, on these chaos spawn. Words are hard. There's, like, a lot of, like side parts. I don't know if you guys can see because it's a little bit far away, but there's a lot of holes in them that they expect you to put more limbs in. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to hit it with epoxy sculpt, hit it with a tiny little bit of primer, and then go right over it and, like, maybe paint sores or something like that fit in there. Maybe what I'll do is I will maybe make them bulge out or something. Okay, so I have this thing, guys. I have this thing. Talking about stuff that makes us angry and being haters. I am going to be a hater on something, though. I really do not like Apple TV. I subbed to them once to watch Severance, and now they bombard my phone with advertisements, especially on Thursdays when I'm streaming. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Apple TV, I literally go through all my stuff trying to turn off the notifications. And, like, I'll get, like, something in the middle stuff. You could turn that off somewhere. I swear, I've been through their app, and then, like, it's weird wherever they put it. I only watch notification for my watch shows, and I don't get, like, 10,000 ads. Yeah. I get you. Because there's so many good shows on Apple TV. Oh, my lord. Oh, guys, I swear this isn't an ad. There's so many good shows on Apple TV. Guys, did you know if you use my code on Apple when signing up for Apple TV? No, I'm not going to do that. I don't know, man. Like, I think that Games Workshop, just overall, I understand that Games Workshop used to be a lot worse, but I started at the beginning of 10th. Mine comes with my iCloud sub, so I don't really think about it much. That's actually really smart. Probably should have done something like that. I need a little bit more paint and water. Dude, Evercold does look sick, though. I just did not really care for Dawntrail's story. I was one of those haters that hated the story. I didn't even take enough off my brush for that. That sucks. All right, well, whatever. Good thing it's a layer paint and it goes on a little bit thinner. I liked Dawntrail's story. I hated the main character. Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. You know, we talk a lot about Dawntrail being, like, my buddy and I talk about Dawntrail, and we talk about how, like, we think that, like, dude, are we really listening to Lahi? We're not listening to Lahi, sorry. Damn, you've been playing since 2nd? Well, you gotta understand, I never really had an outlook, Chris. Like, here, let me put on YouTube. Let me put on chats. We'll merge the chats today. That's the wrong thing. I want to put on, not alert box. I want to put on, where's my chats? Corvin, you've been around since second? Dude, both of y'all been around since second. Jeez. One sec. Where the heck is this? That's the wrong one. Where the heck is my chat? There we go. All right, I'll throw you up in the bottom, in the top right hand. I would say that we're at the best GW has been for supply, but the worst we've ever been for cost. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing, right? When you get like an influx of people, I feel like 10th had a very big influx. I've considered moving to the UK just to save cost. Dude, you'd probably save a bunch more just by opening a Warhammer store. But you gotta understand, I come from like TCG communities, and TCG communities pay way, like, I don't know, it's rough. It's rough. Nah, that shit's expensive. Yeah, it's a 2K buy-in. Don't ask me how I know. I do like this purple undercoat. Yeah, more than that? All right, Chelsea, my bad. You're the expert on that. I really like how this Warp Fiend works. Okay, backstory. I was younger. My cousin worked at a comic book store that sold GW products, so I was doomed. Dude, Chris, you were pulled in from the start, dude. You had no chance at coming out of that alive. I don't know how to tell you that. We had our Warhammer shop in the mall. Dude, by us, we didn't have any Warhammer shop. Warhammer was not a thing where I grew up. Listen, you have the Yamimoto problem. That's true. It's true. Okay. And then you stumble. You guys are so, like... Warhammer seems like such a cool hobby now. Probably when we were growing up. We both still play, me and my cousin. Oh, dude, that's sick. I was more into cards growing up. That was just what we had around us. We didn't really have anybody playing Warhammer. So it was all like... It was all just like, show up. You know, I think we had the guy ended up branching out to one of the local guys ended up branching out to Warhammer after I had moved away. Hell, we don't even have a place that does Warhammer around here a lot. We just have, basically, it's still also, like, it's still cheaper than MTG. Yes and no. Yes and no. If you are a collector for MTG, it's a lot. Should get tabletop sim and play online. Corvin, that's actually how I learned. I learned through playing online. My best friend basically was like, you should play Warhammer. And I was like, I don't know, man. It seems like a lot. And flash forward, and here we are. My first thing that I ever played on tabletop was 10th Index 1000 Suns. You don't have to worry about a bans list, only some nerfs overall. No. That's not the thing, Chelsea. Like, Magic is expensive because the fact that things vary. Mana Crypt, yeah, but that's like a one-time thing. That's literally like a one-time thing. We're not going to get to a point where we have, like... Because we got Commander, like, overhauled. Right? Like, Magic went through, like, a little bit of a renaissance. Yo, look at how good that... you guys can't see because it's a little rough. Looter Scooters were a little bit... I mean, I guess, but, like... We don't really play Standard, and Standard decks are a lot cheaper than they used to be. Magic in general is a lot cheaper than it used to be. Secret... Yeah, I mean, I understand. Guys, I think that skin's coming on pretty well. My buddy was taking a look the other day. My buddy was, like, looking at this, and he was like, oh, yeah, the goat face. He's like, I thought this horn on its chin was, like, a tongue. And I'm like, it is a tongue. He's giving you the nasty, like, stick out your tongue type stuff. But yeah, my first army... Please hold, I'm restarting my keyboard because it's freaking out. Okay. So yeah, so like my first army... So, okay, when I played on Tabletop Sim, my first army was Index 1000 Suns. Did you guys play a lot when Index 1000 Suns was a thing and you character spammed? And then after character spamming, you You would essentially just try to high roll doom bolts. And you would spam characters everywhere, and like you would go to essentially the equivalent of like sorcery phase, whatever it's called. Right? And then you would try to kill things with that. And you'd play stuff like Magnus, you play all this. You play 3 to 4 games a week? Hell yeah, Corbin. I'm lucky if I play 2. Regardless of where we are in the rules? Hell yeah, dude. Corbin, you said you're playing Iron Warriors. What else do you play? Chris, you've never used Tabletop Sim? I got you. Tabletop Sim's great. Tabletop Sim's like you join a Discord, you try to be with a bunch of people, and like you just kind of like play with your stuff, you know, put a list together. It's actually not that bad. But yeah, I was playing like Index Thousand Suns, and it was real bad. And that's how I got into the game. I was like, dude, like fucking Egyptian sorcerers that like have like a really depressing story. Magnus is super good, but like, you know, all this other stuff, psychic phase, okay. Hey, you popped up in my feed, so I decided to hop in. Always happy to support fellow small mini painters. How are you? Hey, what's going on, Coffee and Hobby? I'm doing well, thanks. I am currently getting ready for 11th edition, painting my I was about to say Thousand Suns. We are not painting Thousand Suns. We are painting Emperor's Children. So, damn, I'm lucky if I get 2 games in a month in my local gaming group. Dude, so we attempt to play every Wednesday. And because, like, we have a lot of people, like, we play with, like, 6 people total. So, like, we didn't have enough terrain when I joined. And, like, we just never bought new terrain, so it was a little weird. Emperor's Children. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited to play EC in the new stuff. I'm so happy about it. It's going to be great. Like, I have Tormentors that I got to make, right? So I got to go through and I got to continue making the rest of my Tormentors. But, you know, it is what it is. You have 10k points of Space Marines. Mixed with Ultramarines, you have 6k of Necrons, 5k of Imperial Guard, 4k of Custodes, 3k of Votan, 5k of World Eaters. With Iron Warriors, you're building your first combat patrol. Yeah, dude, that's sick. That's sick. Coffee and Hobby, thanks for stopping in, though. Super appreciate having you by. It's going well. So the way that I view Warhammer, just in general, right? I love the idea of playing Warhammer, but I view painting it as another experience for it that's like 2 hobbies in one, right? So, like, painting is like one hobby, and playing is like the reward for painting. So, I'm very interested to see what happens with this. I kind of want to go over, honestly, one of these days I want to paint up a Fulgrim. Okay, so I'm very intimidated. Hold on one sec. Let's see if I can show this off without doxing myself. One sec. So, my local, one of the shops by me, hold on, do I have a pen or whatever so I can go over the name of the shop? Because I don't want to make them feel real bad about doing this for me. One sec. My local, you suggest sub-assembly? Dude, I sub-assembly everything, Corbin. Like, I don't know if you can see, like, these are my Legionnaires right now. So, like, I'm assembly working their bodies. Dude, I don't know if you auto-correct it or not, but Angry Ron is great. Yeah, I don't want to, like, dox myself for stuff. So give me one sec as I cut out their name out of the QR code. But I got a Fulgrim for like $100. Isn't that insane? The guy bought a bunch of, the guy like spec'd. Oh, that's just his name, like Peter Turbo? Okay. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. God, it's like 1,000 degrees in my office. I do not sub-assembly infantry, just characters and large boys. The problem that I have when the only reason that I sub-assembly everything is just because I don't have a steady hand and I like get stuff all over the place from being new. So like, I don't know if you guys can see, it's real hard from my camera, But, like, I spilled silver all over the place on this guy. So I'm going to have to clean him up, and it's going to be really, really rough. But also at the same time, I know that if I don't just do it, I'm going to be stuck here for so long painting all this stuff. Hold on, I got, like, 60. Just like Rowboat, Girly Man, Lemon, Rust, and Stinky Pete. Yeah. God, I love the silly nicknames that the Warhammer community has for it. Okay, I need to stop moving so much because I keep, like, shooting back and forth. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is, for this guy, I want to paint his face. I forget what I was talking about, besides the fact that I got Fulgrim for super cheap. I ended up getting Fulgrim for super cheap. So here you go. I don't know if you guys can see. I did a sub-assembly for the armature I did. Still need to get that video together. I got pics of it in Instagram and progress shorts on my channel. I think the sub-assembly is best for bigger minis. Yeah. I totally get that. Eclipse, I'm painting Death Guard? Hell yeah, dude. Dude, Death Guard is some of the coolest stuff. I can't say anything because my friends may watch this channel or look at it, but my buddy has such a cool thing going on. He is so talented at painting. I don't know where he got this talent from because he is not at all like this. I'm gonna have to just tell you guys to hold out because of all the cool stuff that he's doing. I'll show you guys some of my. I'm a Drukhari player normally. So I entered. Okay, so I started. I don't know why I'm painting this off screen. My bad. I started painting, or I started on. Okay, so I started Thousand Suns. Didn't like the playstyle of Thousand Suns. Votan came out. I moved to 10th Votan came out. I moved to Votan. Votan was fun, but I was like, I don't know if I really like their army rule because I started playing them on Index. Then they went to Codex, and their Codex rule was kind of annoying to play. And I was like, I think I'm gonna make another army, so I made Drukhari. Because I ended up playing on Tabletop Sim. After everybody told me don't play Drukhari. Drukhari's very rough and like not fun to play. Right? Like you may not like it. And then I played Drukhari and I freaking fell in love with Drukhari. I'll show some of my Drukhari models in a sec. I don't know how long ago I went into Drukhari, but dude, I've been painting so many elves over the past like couple weeks. It's been crazy. Okay, let me let this dry 2 seconds. As I let this dry, let me go get some of my Drukhari stuff to show off. Okay, so I've been playing and painting for about a year. So that's kind of like baseline. I've just started highlighting and doing other stuff. So you're not going to really see any highlights on the stuff that I'm working on. Because like that's like the next step that I'm really working on. But my first, like, one of my first characters for Drukhari is this Archon that I made. I don't know if it's going to actually... Oh, well, it's not going to focus because I turned focus off. Hold on. I don't have headphones on. So... it is what it is. So I don't know if you guys can see this bad boy. This was the first character I made. I kind of stumbled in an Imperial Knight army, made them subscriber follower goals, and I'm growing much quicker than anticipated. Yo, but that's sick though. Congrats. I can't do Drukhari, not a man for spindly. Yo, you know how much I hate spindly models, but I do it anyway? It's crazy. So this was like my first like real character of Drukhari. Right? I can't really show the Archon that much. Come on, dude. This magenta that they have on their stuff is like one of my favorite colors to ever use. I need a better way to display this. Now, to show you guys some other cool stuff, this is my buddy. My buddy made me a solitaire for the army. Look at how sick this guy came out. I don't think the camera does it justice on how this guy looks. This guy is, like, absolutely, like, nutso, dude. Come on, camera. Like, this guy, like, did such a good job on this thing. And he's only been painting, like, maybe 6 months more than I have. Dude, Coffee and Hobby, you are perfectly fine. You are a creator. You're allowed to talk about your stuff. Yeah, Chelsea also has a fruit crute. I'll show a picture of that in a little bit. Now, this is, like, something that, I've done, right? The cameras never do a model justice? Yeah, 100%. But this was, do you guys remember when Crucible of Champions came out for 40K for 10th edition? So I made a homunculus, and then I took a wing from my friend's thing, and I put it on here. And I think this is probably one of the best ones that I've ever made. Sent a photo to show off. All right, Chelsea, I'll pull it up in like 2 seconds. Yeah, this is one of my favorite models. I lied. My Chaos Terminators are sub-assemblies because tusks are big. True. Dude, Coffee, let me tell you something. This was like a fantastic camera. This was my first DSLR. Because back before I was doing, back before I even considered becoming a VTuber or anything else, I was a Magic the Gathering streamer. And to do that, you needed a, as you can tell with my Magic the Gathering mat that I'm painting on top of. I think that DSLRs are the way to go, but it's not worth the $1,000 for the camera that can show off a really good thing when you can try to use an iPhone camera. I will show you guys this, though. You guys want to see what my best model is? My best model's my favorite and best model. I will go get it. Give me 2 seconds. Model. You guys ever had the model? You don't know why it came out as good as it did. You take most of your thing with an A16 phone. Alrighty, Corvin, thank you so much for coming by, bud. Super appreciate you. My favorite and probably best model is this Bury. I don't know why the Bury came out so well. I thought this is like one of like the last models I ever painted of Votan before I stopped. And he's never stood back up. In all the games that I played Bury, I've played him 4 games, which is a lot because I don't play that much. I play once a week. In the 4 games that I played Bury, he has not stood back up. I have another photo. You remember the guy that painted my solitaire? He painted a Crute Rider for Chels. I will bring up the photo right now for it. One sec. Is it this one? Is this the one? We're going to display it real quick. Bam. You guys see that Crute? Look at that fruit Crute, dude. As you paint, you improve? Yeah, 100%. Look at how good this thing came out that my buddy made. Isn't that insane? I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I should, in the future, I have a friend that I made in the scene for painting and doing all this other stuff. I kind of want to steal some of her ideas, which is just like anytime you guys want to show off stuff, you can, I'm not going to do it now because it's a little bit too much work, and painting is not like the main thing I do on this channel. It's just a side thing that I like to do because I want to catch up for 11th. And this is like a productivity thing, right? Looks awesome, a heck of a kit bash. Yeah, he used a lot of epoxy sculpt for it. He like basically epoxy sculpted the heck out of it. My buddy who does all this stuff, right? He's like super unique with like kit bashing and whatnot. It's so crazy how much he's like willing to do because he's willing to like not mess it up. It's not a kit bash technically. I mean, it's close enough of a kit bash, right? All the fruits made. Oh, come on, let's turn off. I think what I want to do is I want to make like a community, it's a lone spear with the head replaced. Yeah, I mean, yes, and all the additional stuff that's on the ground. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take some paint. We're going to paint up the claws on that to see how the colors look for what we chose, because we can always change colors as we add a little bit more. I have no clue what I'm painting the eyeballs, though. Yeah, like I said before, Coffee and Hobby, don't feel bad about plugging your own stuff. I don't really find it bad when it comes to art. Does that make sense? Like, art's weird, right? Because I feel like if you work hard on something with art, like if you work hard with art and you're doing some awesome stuff, why not talk about the stuff that you do, right? But like, if you're just a Joe Schmo that's like talking about like the video games that they played this week, then maybe I'm a little bit hesitant to do that, you know? So I want to make like a blend gradient, I think, for the fingers for these guys. And the way to do that is I want to try to go through and... Oh, God, I put a little bit too much on there, maybe? For not the nails. So I want to go through and I want to... God, that's a little bit too much. You know, it's really funny. I still consider myself a beginner when it comes to painting. I just go, you know what? I'm not good at it, so I'm still a beginner. Hi, what's up, Heck? Hecky Becky. Artisan hands? Dude, I got them grips, dude. I got that grip strength. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is not appropriate for a painting stream. Dude, you literally shut up after man has real hands? That's true. They're not anime hands, dude. I don't know why I gave this guy so many, like, appendages. Kind of crazy. So, yeah, so we're just placing this, and then we'll clean it up later. Kind of want to see what it's going to look like. I'm not putting that much effort into the... into painting stuff that I'm just going to fix with highlights. I don't know. I got to figure out how I want to do this. Heck, you want me to jingle the keys? All right, give me 1 second. One sec. Where the heck is this? I forgot the button. It's this button. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingling the keys. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Got to keep attention up. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Got to keep the attention up. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Dude, I've been painting for like... I've done painting streams like the past 2 times I've streamed because I'm like behind on painting. And like... The problem... Okay, so here's the real issue. Dang, I was hoping you'd show your real keys and jingle them. No, I can't do that. I mainly do painting and comedy mainly. I do know my best to be respectful and know that some people get angered when they talk about content in their spaces, which I sort of understand. Yeah, I get you. I was hoping you'd jingle real keys on stream and show them. Do you want to see how much of a weeaboo I am? Do you want to see how much of a weeaboo I am? I have 1 keychain. If you're a Hololive fan, you're a knower. If you're not a Hololive fan, then you don't know. That's it. That's it. So you either know or you don't. Also, I got pinged like 3 times on Discord. What's going on? I'm not jingling those keys. It'll break off. Also, this is the problem that I have with my brushes where they split. I am not jingling those keys. It'll break. I know this because I tried this the other day as a joke and it broke. I have to do repairing. I have to try to make it so that this base brush kind of like comes back together because like it's like really spraying out. I think it's because I'm loading too much paint onto the brush and it's getting to the base. I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that I just don't know about brushes, and since I like paint and stuff like that, and I have to like infer or I have to look up, or people like don't give me straight answers. I just kind of have to like I don't know if you guys can see, but like this brush is like kind of splitting from just having conditioner put on it, and I don't know what to do when it splits right down the middle. I guess that's like soak them in rubbing alcohol and hope for the best, right? I think detail brush is mostly dead. It's getting real thin. Oh, Lord. Yeah, see, like, this is, like, really, like, fraying, like, real bad. I don't want to move to a second brush yet, because I could still work with this. Man, I got a story about how, well, I'll tell that story another day. Let me hold on to that story. That might be like a YouTube short. Okay, we're gonna try to paint a little bit more over this guy. We gotta get a little bit more details. I ain't the best to my brushes though, so I'm doing that to myself. I feel that, Coffee and Hobby. I feel that 100%, man. Also, I never retweeted the fact that I was live. Man, I got a story, he says, before not telling it. Yeah, dude. What am I supposed to do? I gotta bait the retention, man. You gotta come back for something besides my grippers. I say that like it's my hands, but grippers usually means feet. So, it's funnier if we leave it at feet. God, I hate how this brush is going here. You're here for the fingers, dude? Hell yeah. You're gonna see how much paint I get on my fingers, man. It's crazy. There's so much paint that I'm getting on my fingers. Alright, I don't want to listen to Lahi Remix, dude. I don't know how to fix... I mean, like, I think I'm just gonna soak these in alcohol and hope that it breaks down. Because, like, they're cheap nylon brushes anyway. Right? Maybe I'll, like, go pick up some vinegar or something. But, normally, so what I'm gonna do is, for shading, right? So it looks like shading's probably gonna hit the hand on an angle, right? The idea is that we look at the angles and see where they're gonna go. For the horns should probably not be purple, right? Or they're gonna be the bright Gene Stealer purple. I want to hit this with like a thinner shade of the... Where the heck is it? I wear latex gloves while painting, keeps the oil on my hands from rubbing off the paint. That's very smart. Coffee. My buddy does that a lot. I just hate not having access to... I hate not having access to, like, being able to, like, touch and work with things. I know that sounds weird to say, but, like... Brother, I don't... Okay. Okay, we're off. We're off this song. We tried our best. We need to add a tiny little bit of water to this, so let's do that. Always good to look up reference images. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, what I want to do is is that I want to make it so that I can like go down and like hit this with a little bit more of a watery coat, right? Because I don't want to build up another layer of base paint on this. What I want to do is I want to hit it with enough so that the pigment gets spread out. You know? I usually put, the problem is that the Slanesh demons are weird, right? Because, like, unlike normal demons, they, like, kind of, like, spread into, like, they want everything to be, like, fleshy, right? So, like, flesh grows over stuff, flesh grows in stuff, you know? All that other type of stuff. So. I also want to make sure that, like, we can do this cool gradient of the gray into, like, the purple for the fingers. So what I need to do is I need to, like, figure out how I'm going to be doing that gradient. Which I think is just mixing one into the other and then watering it down and letting it go. Dude, I keep looking up and I see, because I have, like, oh, the way that OBS works, I have, like, my OBS works, I have Twitch chat on one side, and then I have the group chat on the other side. Orbzink, how do you like multi-streaming? Heck, I've been multi-streaming since day one, and I really, really enjoy it. It just takes up a lot of bandwidth, and it's a little bit more work. But YouTube keeps VODs better than Twitch does. I will tell you that. I also kind of do it because, like, since I already use my YouTube channel for shorts, right, for gaming shorts or whatever, I just put everything else in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably not worry about the horns yet. I want to try to do everything else. I'm also practicing to become a professional mini painter. Can't get a job. I'm disabled. So my family and I plan to integrate that into something because we're building. So, and something else we're building. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome, Coffee and Hobby. That's like a really good idea at the end of the day, you know? Like, do anything you can to get yourself into, like, a better spot. Current content creation is kind of the only job I can do right now. Totally get it. Totally get it. You know, at the end of the day, you just do what makes it... You gotta... I was telling someone the other day, right? Like, or actually, earlier today, we were having a friend that had a little bit of a crash out on, like, how they felt about streaming and whatnot. And as someone that was bigger in the streaming side of stuff, like, I wasn't, like, terribly big, but I was big in my industry, right? Back when I was doing other content creation, right? And I was good at what I was doing, and I had growth trajectory. I was too worried about numbers, and because I was worried so much about numbers versus what I wanted to do, I crashed out hard. I was not having fun. I was chasing stuff that didn't matter. And I don't know, I know this sounds weird, but, like, you know, I lucked out by introducing a friend on how to become a VTuber. He did legwork. He found another friend group. I bullied him until he invited me into the friend group. And now that plus everything else, you know, a little bit of networking, a little bit of other stuff, and, like, just making content that I'm happy with making, right? Put me into a position where, like, I genuinely enjoy this. I honestly hope to see you grow. Some folks get competitive, but the more creators that grow, the better for the hobby. Yes and no. Depends on the personalities. But I appreciate it, man. I super appreciate it. And when it comes down to it, like, do I really want to, like, become big for painting on streams? I don't know. Whatever. My normal 9 to 5 covers everything I really need. I'm not too worried about it, you know? I don't know. I'm, like, way more relaxed about this than I was, like, making content creation in other places. I think it's because I'm like, I'm ASMRing by moving my head around my microphone, right? Heck, if you want more stuff if you want to talk more about multi-streaming once I jump off today, we can do that, by the way, if you want to do that. But I was going to say this. Once I, like, stop... I know this sounds weird, but you get happiest when you stop caring. Like, I know that sounds, like, really, like, lame to say, and, oh, it's really easy for people who have made it before to say that. Dude, this industry kills you if you care too much. It will cause you to burn out real, real hard. Oh, live hands? What's going on, Destiny? How you doing? How you liking ZZZ Season 3? I'm saving it because I have to catch up on Warhammer before I can, like, painting stuff, before I can really do anything else. So I've been saving ZZZ Season 3 maybe for next week. So I like, want to be productive, right? Like, I love painting. Painting's what I do in my downtime. It's my way of being creative besides video editing. And honestly, I would not have it any other way. I know that you were playing it earlier today, right, Dishni? Let's grab a little bit of this. We're making like a little bit more of a wash right now. Almost like a glaze that we're gonna put over this to get the essentially what we're looking to do with the glaze is we're trying to highlight this stuff, right? We're trying to get it in so you can really see the recesses, right? Normally what you would do with a glaze is you would go straight up into the recesses. You wouldn't go all the way over. But because of how rounded his body is and his face is, it's not going to stick on certain points. Love Season 3. Pulled the big tits in the first 10. Love Warhammer also, but not a super fan. Love Rogue Trader. Hell yeah, dude. That's sick. That's sick. I spent $50 and did not pull her. I'm very wary about third-party sites on getting discounted pulls. I'll be real honest. So I'm a chump and I buy pulls straight from the stuff, straight from the source. But you know, it's one of those things that, like, maybe I got a promotion at work, so maybe I'll pull for her as a celebration, you know, with a little bit of extra cash that I get for once I get my first promotion paycheck. Well, my boss told me I'm getting promoted, but you know, it's one of those things that it'll happen when it happens. Dude, I'm so excited for Season 3 though. They do their stuff so well. I literally logged in and I'm like, I can't even grind. I chose mini painting content creation because I enjoy and want to spread it about it and talk about it. Yo, I love talking about Warhammer so much. It's not like when I used to do a lot of Magic stuff. When I used to do a lot of Magic stuff and people talk to me about Magic outside of like my streams and stuff like that, I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed. Wish I had money for that kind of stuff. How hard is it to paint? I have shaky hands, so that looks impossible. Okay, so I'll show you a cool trick that I learned. If you ever want to, like, paint and you have shaky hands, one of the things that I saw is that you need something to brace yourself, right? So what you do is you see a lot of people. Hold on, I think I have a holder. Hold on. So you gotta, oh my lord, an AI viewer bot. What you do is that you try to put your hands up to each other, like hands up to stuff. And you do this. So, I don't have a good one to show off. You have Tourette's and you're still able to build up your skill and make good looking builds. So what I do is I'm trying to find like a good one. God, the model's too big that I chose. Hold on. Dushni, you're not the only person getting them. They are all over the place, man. Even for one of the bigger streamers that I work for, right? It happens all the time. Okay, so what a lot of people do for stabilization is they take a base holder like this, and then they put their hand up against their first hand, and you brace yourself on something like a table or whatever, and then you paint using that, right? So like that's always been the way that it's been done, that I've seen people do it. Or you don't even use a base holder, you just hold onto it and you have your other hand touching. Basically, you have your hands touching because that stabilizes yourself, right? Because if you do a movement with one hand, if one hand's shaky, then the other hand's shaky, so everything's moving together, if that makes sense. What I do is that I'm on an L desk right now, so I have both forearms on the L desk and I'm leaning up against it and I'm painting this way, right? And I usually go in one angle. It also helped that I played a lot of guitar and like a lot of like I'm musically inclined, right? So a lot of like my my hands steady from like doing that type of stuff. But look at that, guys. We made this guy look 10 times better by just hitting him with a shade. And we're not even close to being done yet. We're going to hit him with a little bit of highlights. And then we're going to paint his face, and then he's going to be good to go. And then we'll work on the second guy. The funny thing is that this, like, the way that this paint dried felt like it dried that way. Now, the problem that I have is with Slanesh stuff. Slanesh stuff, like, horns aren't normal horns. They do, like, flesh horns. You know what I mean? So, we're gonna have to figure out how to do that, like, a little bit properly. But until then, this guy has a tongue that looks like it could do some options. Mini painting is something not most folks can do. Just takes time and be patient with yourself. Yeah, and just don't get intimidated for painting, right? That's one of the biggest things that you have to do when you learn to paint. You just have to do it. So this is chaos. Is that chaos? Yeah, we are doing chaos stuff right now. I'm playing on the tabletop. I'm going to be playing Emperor's Children. Emperor's Children is a chaos Traitor Legion army that is based around a guy named, well, I mean, he's not based around. His demon primarch is Fulgrim, and the goddess is Slanesh. The demon god is Slanesh. I don't know why I'm putting this straight on there. Move it down just a little bit. Okay. Dude, look at him. Look at that tongue, dude. Sometimes it's just a little bit that like really makes something pop. And like that tongue is the way to go. I should zoom in, but I feel like every time I zoom in, I like remove like a ton of stuff from stuff. But at least you guys will be able to see the model a little bit better now. See what I mean? It's not zoomed in though. Hold on. It's not focused. One second. I'm very excited. Slanesh, I know, is the perverted one that uses human skin as lubricant. That is a phrase I wasn't exactly. I don't know why I read that out loud, just one for one. Yeah, it's basically the goddess, goddess of excess, right? I think we're gonna leave this like. How did we do our other horns? We did our other horns purple, right? So we could leave this purple. And then what we'll do is we will make it a little bit stronger. I'm looking to see what they'll do for Demon Primarch of Vashtor. Yeah, so I'm very interested too, and I'm wondering to see when Vashtor is going to be like ascending to become a full Chaos God, right? Because like he's not there yet. Hold on one second. Someone pinged me with a very important thing. I'm going to do it before I forget. Creator dashboard. I want to do this. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. There's a Minecraft sponsorship on Twitch. Sounds like heresy? Little bit like heresy. All right, I'm not able to grab it. That's okay. Rest in peace. I mean, that's Twitch for you, man. Okay. We're back. So we got that. What's that tongue do? We see what that tongue does, right? So we're gonna We know the Emperor is destined to become the Dark King, so he'll be another Chaos God. Yeah, I mean, eventually, right? Like, we assume that the Emperor is going to become, like, some sort of Dark King. Also, or the Dark King. Add a little bit of paint to the head here. And right around this. Alright. I need to clean up and highlight, and then he's basically done. I'm just trying to make, guys, that... Before anything else, guys, I'm trying to make stuff that's a little bit just table ready is my most important thing. It doesn't have to be great. It just has to be good enough. So we have a little bit of paint that we smudged here that I need to clean up on the horns. So let's clean up the horns, then we'll do the arms, where we'll try to fade into the purple as well. So let's grab a little bit of the Zeri's purple, right? So we'll do that. We'll hit it with a little bit of water. Well, we're not going to hit it with water, but we're going to grab it. Dude, we're all about heresy here. You know what's crazy? Because, like, EC is, like, one of my favorites. Hold on. Yeah, it's not going to pop up. That sucks. The interesting thing is that chaos can never be truly rid of, as it's a manifestation of thought and emotion. True. True. Do you know what that takes? I mean, like, and that's the same reason why chaos can never win, right? Because if chaos wins, then they have nothing to, like, they have, like, there's nothing that can come out of it. Hold on, sorry, I put a little bit too much paint. So I wanna do this real quick, right? I wanna hit these guys up with the purple, just giving it a little bit more oomph. You guys can't even see because it's zoomed in. Oh, all right. I have to, like, make myself like a square that shows it. I was telling my buddies, because everybody's like, oh, Slaanesh is like the horny one. And they were like, haha, it's the horny one. And my response is, yeah, Slaanesh might be that, but it's also like the, it could be like the demon prince of like pride and stuff like that too, right? Like, you can have an excess of anything, right? It doesn't, like, it's just really easy to talk about it with sex and drugs and rock and roll, right? So, like, one of the things that I like to talk about is like, oh god, why is that taking up my full screen with that? That's crazy. GW did a good job of building a universe which is forever in a stalemate. That is true. That is true. Sorry, I got like, dude, I don't know why no one messages me when nothing's going on, but when I'm streaming, everybody has to get a hold of me. It's crazy, man. Okay, I want to hit this. I think I have contrast medium somewhere. I want to thin this down with contrast medium before anything else. I just got brand new contrast medium because I go through this stuff like fucking crazy. I was telling my buddy who does all this work that he should go through stuff and do whatever. Isn't Dark Elves close to that as well? The excesses? Yeah. So Dark Elves are like that because they want to essentially hold off Slaanesh, right, from eating their souls, essentially. And the way to do that... Alright, so I need this... Sorry, I need this to be like a glaze. There you go. That's pretty good. So essentially what has to happen is that Slaanesh needs to... Slaanesh is like... The longer and the more stuff that they do, the more it causes people to, like, be, what's the phrase I'm looking for? To, like, hold off, like, their doom? Right? I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but... Like, Dark Elves are, like... I love the Drakari. They are some of my favorites. I'm not like a huge like. It's very funny because for the classes that are like deemed to be like the horniest, I am not like a horny guy. That is just not. I know I'm not fighting the allegations by I'm not fighting the allegations by playing ZZZ and all that other stuff, but like, man, dude, I have never been like a gooner. People used to. Did you guys used to have people that used to like be like, "Who's your celebrity crush? Who's your celebrity crush? Who's your celebrity crush?" And I used to be like, "I don't know, man. Stop asking me these weird questions. I don't really have a celebrity crush." You know? Okay. As these guys fade into purple, I think I'm gonna now take the same warp fire blend, thin it down a little bit more, and send these guys in. Dude, I have so much like just dirt and random texture from shit. I hate it here. So now that I have like the warp fire stuff all wet, I'm gonna do like a wet blend. I think that's what it's called, right? When you blend two stuff when it's wet on the model to give like a better gradient. I don't know if it actually gives a better gradient. I'm by. I got 2 horny cluckers in my head. Oh my lord. My celebrity crush's name. Who's that? People used to ask me like, who's my husbando as well, and or not my husbando because I'm straight, but who's your waifu? And I'm like, I don't really have a waifu. They are like, they're anime. No offense, but like, I will tell you this: I have an Oshi. That's really it. And like, I'm not even like super huge into VTuber culture. I mean, I am, but my Oshi is Herb, dude. Elizabeth Rose Blood Flame. Yipsuna. Oh my lord, dude. Suna's great, though. Yeah, my Oshi's Herb from HoloLive. Although I'm a huge fan of Pippa, too. I love Pippa. Pippa's great. All right, we're going to start shading just a little bit, just to see if it kind of brings this stuff alive a little bit. So, for shading, you usually want to choose something that's a little bit of a lighter color. I don't have an in-between for Gene Stealer's Purple and the... Oh, no, wait. I don't really have an in-between for Gene Stealer Purple and Zarius Purple, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that, a little bit of the Zarius Purple, and then I'm going to... Oh, you didn't hear the first time? Herb. Elizabeth Rose Blood Flame. To be fair, though, do you want to know how I got into VTubers? How I started watching VTubers or enjoying VTubers? Is that there's a streamer that I used to watch for Final Fantasy XIV called Xenosis Vex, and he used to... One of the things that his chat used to do was chat used to have him react to like Pecora or Gura. And essentially by him reacting to Gura or Pecora was like my intro to VTubers. Isn't that crazy? So like me being a fan of VTubers is like a little bit of it is because of Xenosis Vex, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, that's good. I need a little bit more purple. I got a good dinner. I'm subbed, so I should be able to find my way back here. Coffee, thank you so much for coming by. We don't always do painting, but I absolutely love to have you here. I will definitely check out your stuff. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay, we're going to blend this in just a little bit. We want to raise the color just enough to make it where it's different from that, right? So that's different, right? So we'll start with the horns. Geez, Final Fantasy 14, I played that religiously. There was a ton of people that played that religiously, especially during COVID. This needs to be watered down just a tiny little bit. And then after this, I think I'm going to get rid of my paper. Just because I've been doing a little bit, or I've been doing a lot on this, guys. So let's do this. Oh, that's way too bright still. That's still way, way too bright. I'm looking for like a nice in-between, and I don't think that there is one that I can hit. So let's try this. There we go. That's a little bit better. So always for my light on everything that I work on, I have light coming up from the top left looking down. It's just how my brain works. So. And then what you want to do for glare, or for shading is that you want to make sure, you have to think about how the light's going to hit stuff, and then you want to, like, essentially only shade that area. Right? So I'm going to have to do a bunch more shading in a second. I don't know why I chose this guy. This is the guy that I was not looking to play, or to do. So, this guy shading. And on the back of his hand. So when you flip the model around for shading, you have to assume that the shade is coming from the opposite way, right? So instead of coming from this way, it's going to be coming from this way. So like you're not going to see stuff. There's no, like, the back of the hand is going to be darker, right? Because the shade, I mean, unless like it's like a, I mean, maybe you do like the fingers like this a little bit, right? Because maybe the light's a little bit more omnipresent. Then you hit this a little bit too. Dashni, I'm so excited because now that we have like wind support, I can finally play Jane Doe again. I felt like I couldn't play Jane for like ever. What's your favorite story in Warhammer? I actually don't. So okay, so in one of my favorite stories I ever heard in Warhammer is about one of the Necrons, right? So I don't remember who this is. I don't remember the names of the people. I do remember some of the names. But essentially the Necron leader was looking to meet with was looking to meet some Blood Angels, right? So for those that don't know, the Blood Angels Primarch died. He was brutally killed, and it's a very sore subject for Blood Angels, right? Like you don't want to bring up Sanguinius's death. And essentially, the Necrons were like, "Oh, we want to make sure that we relate to these guys, right? So we have the death. We can make a recreation of the death mask of Sanguinius, which is one of I think this is essentially it. I'm going to be a little bit wrong about this story, man. This is literally just playing a giant game of telephone. But essentially they when meeting the Blood Angels for the first time, they essentially had their leader greet them with a mask of Sanguinius, and it scared the shit out of them and was like slightly offensive. Where's the Hello Kitty Ultramarines? Yeah, what's going on, Kitsune? Dude, if I was an Ultramarines player, I'd totally be into it. But I am not an Ultramarines enjoyer. I don't think there's anything wrong with Ultramarines. I just feel like, look, you know, I don't feel like playing I don't really feel like playing like the base Ultramarines. Does that make sense? Like it's like you're playing like the Space Marines, right? Jonathan Space Marine knows almost nothing about 40k. That's okay. Whenever you see a blue Space Marine, right? Like the robustly blue Space Marine, you're probably looking at an Ultramarine. That's just kind of how it is. Right? Yeah, but I've seen all the memes too, so I totally get what you mean, Kitsune. Kitsune, how's your day going? What'd you do today? Anything fun? This is gonna be like our productivity thing. So like, just sitting down and painting and. Oh, wait a second. Did this shade actually come out sick? No way my highlight came out sick because I wasn't paying attention. Hell yeah, brother. Dude, highlights are the best when you're like not paying attention and then all of a sudden you do whatever. You almost died 3 times today, but other than that, that's good. Hey, you know what though? I hear after you almost die a 4th time, they punch your card and you get a free sub. Like sandwich, not like on Twitch. You think Dan Clancy would give away subs for free? Danathan Clancy. So I want to be able to get a little bit closer to the color that I'm going. So instead of shading with Mephiston red, God, this is how you could tell my sheet's too wet. So I put a little bit of piece of paint on here and look how it like splintered out already. That means that my pad's too wet. So I need to go through. It's currently 42 degrees Celsius actually melting. Dude, that sucks. That sucks. It's 73 Fahrenheit here. So I get what you mean, where it's just too much. It is way, way too much. That's crazy, man. Well, I hope you get some relief. I hope you have like an air conditioner or at least a box fan that you can be by and like kind of cool off. If not, I'm so sorry. Let us know where you are and we'll send someone to collect your body and give your remains to your family and or cat and or dog and or significant other. I'll have Heck come over in a van to pick it up. You made a slight rant in Heck's general chat about my town's lunatic drivers? Hell yeah, I'll check it out after this. Yeah, it's still a little too wet, so I don't know if you guys can see, but as I'm like putting paint down, it's like immediately like spreading out a little bit. So I want to make this thinner. Oh, I still have a little bit of red in there. Oh no! Alright, well we'll clean the heck out of this brush before we do anything else. Maybe I'll grab another brush in a sec. You know, this music's actually not bad. It's probably too low for you guys to be able to hear. I might just boost it just a tiny little bit. There we go. Okay. Dude, this is the closest thing that I can do to a just chatting stream. So that's why I do it, right? Like, I love to do just chatting and stuff like that, but I feel like I would never be able to do it the way that I wanted to. I need to have, like, something to go with it. And I feel like there's only so many times that you could do something like World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? So, oh my god, am I not painting in the thing? When's the Argent action figure that I'll definitely put into a jar of fluid? Shame I can't stay longer. It's close to 4 a.m. Hey, Dushni, thank you so much for coming out, bud. Don't ever feel bad about having to leave. You got stuff to do. You got a life to take care of. Appreciate you stinking by. Have a fantastic night, man. I will stop by your stream soon once I get a little bit more into ZZZ so I don't hit any more spoilers. Dude, Kitsune, if you dunked me in mystery fluid, it better not be the milk that Heck is in love with, man. Milkers, dude. I feel like that's a little bit too much, right? Because, like, the face now looks like... I'm going to have to let it sit for a second. I think I'm going to have to, like, you know... Does used motor oil work? Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. I'm okay with used motor. Look, it's a good way to recycle your motor oil, Kitsune. Alright? I don't want you to have to feel like you need to waste good new motor oil on me. On my action figure. I that this was a little bit of a mistake. I think I have to try to blend it a little bit more here. So we need to get the warp fire gray. It's all the metal. It's got all the metal shavings and shit. Dude, that's metal as fuck. Let's go. All right, let's make a blend. So we're going to go like that. We're going to grab a little bit of the warp fire gray. And I want to be able to like really, really like control how this works. So here's the Slaanesh gray on top of it. I'll always get more. I can always get more Slaanesh gray. Right? Mix that together. And now I need to put this on top here, right? So like here. Oh, it's still a little too bright. Shit. All right. All right, all right, all right. Dude, it's almost already been 2 hours. I took out of work a little. This is the time that I normally start to stream. It's crazy. We have a holiday this weekend. Like a bank holiday this weekend. So because of that, I decided to take off a little bit of time. And instead, like, you know, I'm like, you know what? Like, I worked hard this week. So I'm gonna reward myself by taking off of some work. The idea is that far away is supposed to look good. But the problem is that I don't think it looks good far away. I think it looks like he has... I feel like that he looks like he has a bunch of other stuff going on. Like he has like the Jekyll and Hyde mask. Dude, you could tell I'm getting tired because I'm like starting to shade and I'm like pulling it towards my body instead of leaving it out. Oopsie poopsie. Dude, this guy has like a little bit of a belly. He like slaps his belly. He's like, oh. Okay. Honestly, I'm almost at the point where I think he's good enough because of what I'm trying to do with him. Like, he's not trying to do anything else besides just be a dude. So let's make another quick pass of the purple. So I'm going to make a little bit of purple. It's time to consume, be a creature of bovine origin. Enjoy your cow, steak, burger, whatever you're up for, Kitsune. I hope you enjoy it overall, bud. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Honestly, I don't think it came out too bad. I could probably do a little bit more with shading and all this other stuff, but I don't think he needs to be anything else besides just a dude. You know, like, he is just a flesh creature. The problem that I have with him, though, is that, like, because he's on this, he doesn't really stand out. I might have to hit this with, like, a Nuln Oil. I wonder what happens when I hit a base like this with a Nuln Oil. I mean, it's kind of cool. I think this came out pretty well. Alright, time to hit this next guy. This guy's going to be a little bit harder to hit. Because he's got a little bit more stuff to do. I want to make his eye, like... I want to make his eye... I kind of want to make his eye like a bright green. Does that make sense? Or maybe like a beige? Beige into a white? So maybe we put a little bit of bone on the eye. We go brown... like a dark brown into a bone into a white. Or, I mean, like, here's the other thing too, right? We could do like a yellowish brown, which is like what bone is. So maybe we hit it with a brown first into a bone. So let's try that. So I'm gonna go Scrag brown. Right, we're gonna go very light on the Scrag brown. I'm probably actually gonna take a detail brush to this instead of anything else. So let's do that. So let's grab a detail brush. So we'll go detail brush into the eyeball. I don't know what we're doing for the eyelid. So I know that looks really weird, but that's going to be our base color for the eye. It does not focus well, man. I don't know how I'm going to make this focus a little bit better. Maybe I have to zoom out. I'm probably going to just zoom out. Zooming out. Dude, what if I just zoomed out? I was at a completely different desk. Like the whole entire time, everything that's been going on just completely jostles around. You just go, boah! Okay, one sec. Okay. So this guy's basically done. I could, like, add a little bit more shading and other stuff to him, but, like, I really don't feel like I need to. I could also paint his eyes, but, like, I don't know how I would even get started on his eyes, man. Like, I don't know how you, like, do creature eyes. Just in general. I usually do, like, flat faces. But, alright, now we gotta hit this guy with, like, a big base brush of the Warp Fiend Gray. So, let's grab a bunch of Warp Fiend Gray. Right? We're gonna put that all right there. We're gonna go completely over the Chaos Spawn. We want to be liberal with it, right? Because, like, it's a layer, but, like, it's enough where if I, like, really pull it out and I really work with it, because it's been, like, I can probably just, like, hit it with a little bit of water in that, too, to kind of, like, move it around and, like, get a little bit going. Because I didn't thin down the paint enough when I first applied it. I'm also talking away from my microphone. So we'll go like here, right? We're gonna hit this a little bit more. I don't know how we're doing the eyeball though. I feel like it needs to be the skin color, right? Because if it's not the skin color, but like it's a chaos spawn, right? So if it's a chaos spawn, we should keep it the same. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. Someone remind me that I should be pushing my Discord. I always forget to do that. God, this is so weird. All right, hold on. I feel like no matter what I do, I'm not getting in there just enough. Hey, what's going on, Minutemen? How you doing? Hope you're having a great Thursday or Friday if it's Friday by you. We are painting Chaos Spawn tonight, so it's gonna be a little weird. I don't know if I want to save Fulgrim for stream or not. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like I feel like Fulgrim is like a little. It's a lot, man. Oh, come on, ad break. You've had hell today and right now? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That sucks. That sucks hardcore. I hope you can kind of just get a little bit of a break to just chill. Hopefully some painting can just kind of like get you into a spot where like you're a little bit more, I don't want to say like normal, but like, you know, less stressed out. So there's no breaks when the Silent King needs an army. Oh, dude. Looking to paint Necrons? Is that what it is? Enjoying my bovile meat block made of countless individuals all minced together in a horrible affront to nature. Yeah, but it tastes good, though, Kitsune. That's the most important part. If it tastes good, then you're fine. What are you painting for Minutemen? What are you making for Necrons? I'm not a huge Necrons guy, but my best friend is. He makes like a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Ten combat patrols down. Okay, hold on. Let me read this real quick. Oh, and you're putting cheese on it too? Hell yeah, dude. 10 combat patrols down. I still got another 6 Necron boxes. A Silent King almost painted, and one whole combat patrol painted and done. Oh, dude, that sucks. That's a lot. That's a lot. What the heck's in the combat patrol right now? Is it Immortals? Combat patrol. Necrons. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Let's do it as a class. Looks like you have a Doomstalker, right? That's a Doomstalker. I'm not crazy. Okay. You have an Overlord, Canoptic Doomstalker, Scorpic Destroyers, 10 Necron Warriors, and 3 Canoptic Swarmlords. Actually, that's not a bad box, is it? Now that I think about it. If you don't already have Immortals and Canoptic Doomstalkers, I mean Overlord, I don't know how much Overlords are played. I don't know that much. Look, here's the thing. Wait, do you get... Wait, hold on. Minutemen, does the Combat Patrol come with Scorpic Destroyers, but no Scorpic Lord? 1 second. I gotta ask my buddy. Wait, is GW insane? Does the Necron Combat Patrol not come with a Scorpic Lord? I've got a tournament in 5 to 6 hours now, and I got the smallest army? Dude, I'm so sorry. Good luck. That's insane. You got this. If you have an airbrush, that's going to be your best friend. Sometimes you just need to pump stuff out. You don't need it to look great. You can always paint it up and fix it up in the post, dude. I am so sorry. Are you playing doubles, or what are you playing for tournament? Or are you just playing a GT? My lord, dude. Generally, no clue. You just signed up. Alrighty. Well, hey, look, you know what? If you're able to get that together, good luck. I think you can do it. It sucks right now, but in the future, you'll either learn a lesson or you'll have a lot of fun. Right? It's one of the two. What's your so is this for 11th or is this for 10th? I'm guessing if it's in 5 to 6 hours from now, it's like one of the last 10ths, right? And also, just because your army is small, don't worry about it. You're playing that many things. You're probably playing 2K, right? Maybe you're playing 3K? I don't think you're playing 3K. Dude, this is like the... I didn't write my final paper the night before finals type thing. The I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm just doing it. Just finished the Silent King. Now going to work on the death marks and maybe 2 more combat patrols to paint. There's like 500, since that's like 500 points or more. Smart, 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 smart. You got this. You got this. Again, not everything has to be perfect. It just has to be playable on the board, right? 3-color rule, I think it is, or whatever it is. You got to have 3 colors on it to make it work. I actually kind of like the like perturbed hand. Well, Minutemen, while you get that done, I hope you can just kind of like chill and relax. We'll do a productivity thing, right? What's my buddy called it? There's a word for it when you work with someone else at the same time while they're working on stuff. It's like there's like genuinely something that it's called. I don't remember what it is. But, like, the idea is that, like, not co-piloting, because that's, like, the wrong phrase, but, like, when people work together on stuff. You gotta understand, like, I probably have enough points for a 2K army for Emperor's Children, but I'm not even close to being done, because this is gonna be, like, my long-term army, I think. Like, you know, because, like, I've been playing for, like, a year, right? Like, about a year. And since I've been playing for about a year... I want, like, an army that, like, I've actually, like, really, like, worked hard into. And, like, that's kind of where I'm coming from, right? Look. How would we do a crab claw? You know what I mean? Like, this almost reminds me of, like, the Kingler claws. I'm doing, like, the hand thing. Like, a red? And then, like, highlight with, like, an orange? Maybe that'd be very cool. Let's try that. That sounds really fun. No. I think I want to keep it... No, I want to keep it Slaneshi. Because if I do, like, the crab claw type thing, it's not going to work in the long run. Honestly, going to kill my friend soon after the tournament because we were going to meet with a full army war. My friend who plays orcs might join for chaos. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Well, I wish you the best on that. Dude, I'm very, very excited to play some Chaos. I unironically, the more and more I'm like, I don't think I'd like orcs. My friends are talking me into, like, possibly becoming an orcs player. I think I'd just rather do it on, like, tabletop sim. Dude, my friends one of my friends in a group chat that we use for, like, important stuff, when, like, people want to do stuff, are just straight up just spamming free run gifts at each other. There's nothing important being talked about. There's nothing else going on. It's just free run gifts. I gotta mute Twitch. I accidentally had Twitch up. One sec. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, Nah, pray for those guys, because last time I had 2 squads and still won because they both fought each other till they only had the squad each as I picked them up very slowly. Well, that's the way to do it is Necrons. My buddy who plays Necrons nonstop, dude, I have such a hard time going into him, man. It's not even that, like, it's not even that Necrons are broken or anything. I'm just not good at the game. Like, my buddy will be like, all right, so I pack this thing of wraiths up here. And I go, okay, I'm going to kill it. And then I fail. And then I get stuck fighting the wraiths for God knows how long. Wait, why did my YouTube stream end? Hello? This thing said my YouTube stream ended. But it's still live. My YouTube stream is still live. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. Like, you guys can see that, like, in the top right-hand corner, it says, Ours and VT has ended their YouTube stream. I have not ended my YouTube stream. It's actually going pretty strong still. So. All right. Sorry, I got distracted. ADHD kicked in. ADHD is a hell of a drug. Okay, I need to... Now that I've done this, I need to figure out what color I'm doing the eyeball and the eyelid. And I also need a little bit of black so that I can paint around stuff. My first match, my friend let me use their Necrons, and I charged over and over as my forces slowly advanced them. And I still lost since my friend mainly had Necron warriors. Well, dude, Necron warriors are great. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, where they're like, you know, not exactly what you want to do, like only charging with Necron warriors, but like Necron warriors are still. I love them to death. My buddy who I'm talking to, or my buddy who plays Necrons, I sent him your message about how you're buying all this stuff. And he goes, yeah, dude. He's like, it's the stupid thing about buying, it's the stupid fucking thing about collecting Necrons. One is being the Locust Lord, which doesn't have a model. I don't know anything. I mean, I'm reading directly what he says right now. So now that I have Abaddon Black, I'm gonna go around like these feet. Oh god, I should probably hit it with some other stuff, dude. I should probably go in there with like a little bit of water. A little bit of water. I've been studying battle tactics for a month straight and other stuff. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. I'm one of those people that I can't really study battle tactics. I have to just drill over and over and over, if that makes sense. He says the other being that Catan, which only comes in the Tesseract Vault, and the alt build that doesn't use it is the worst model in their codex. Gross. I've been studying, dude. I am glad though that you're taking time to learn, right? Like that's the most, it's the most important thing, right? If you take time to learn, then you can at least grow off of it, right? Right. Hooves are supposed to be black, so we'll hit them with the black. But bam. All right, now I need to like hit the nails. So, oh shit, it's super windy outside. I didn't even realize. Anyone on YouTube? Anybody know if YouTube's still up? It says it's still up for me, but let's see. Okay. Sweet. It still says it's up. All right, whatever. I don't know why it said that. I don't know how I'm supposed to make the claw like feel like less invasive, right? I don't think there's a good way for me to do it. All right. Next is going to be what am I doing next? I guess I want to paint the eyeball blue. Gonna feel bad for the orc player I'm up against. Is dead because it's like a beginner only. Since I don't have play often, I have to play the beginners before I move into advanced, which is what my local store does for ranks. Oh, okay. Well, you know what, dude? I think you're gonna have a really good time then. Good thing you've been practicing, you know? Like, it's all about, like, even if it's like beginners, you know, you'll get up there once you start playing a little bit more. All right, we need bone because we are going to be doing... We're going to be going up a little bit, dude. All right, what I need to do here is I need to like hit the nails like that so that they really pop. I need to look and see what color crab claws are to see if that's the way I want to do it. Do I want to do crab claws like that? I mean, I could. Right? Like, theoretically, I could do crab claws. There is nothing stopping me from doing crab claws. But I think it's easier if I just do it like the bone color. I've also finished my Death Marks and Overlord and also 4.5 Warriors. Dude, you're doing so well. Holy shit. Good shit, man. Look, just assemble and paint as much as you can, right? Again, it's the 3-color rule. There has to be 3 distinct colors to look like you've tried to paint your stuff. So, you know, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Let me look at Demonettes. Let's see what Demonettes look like. I might try to bully my buddy into just hanging out and us doing like a painting stream together. Demonettes a Slaanesh. Let's see. Each one has 5 minimal. Do that. Hell yeah. Well, like my buddy's like. The problem is that he's like way better than I am at this, dude. He's insane. Okay, it looks like they do like metal for their claws, but that's not what I'm looking for. How the heck do these guys do this? Looks like they do it with like highlights on the claws. Okay, it looks like they fade into white. That's how they really do it. It's either they fade into white or they're made out of metal. Okay. Well, then we will do that. We will make it fade into metal. Not fade into metal, but fade into white. So, let's add, well, I don't think it's going to fade into white. I think it's going to fade into the Slaanesh gray that exists. We'll do that, and we'll do like orange into Slaanesh gray fading. But let's do the rest of the bone, right? As you can see, the bone didn't really sit there, so we'll do a little bit more there. So we'll hit it up in places. Oh, gross. That's way too watery. We're not getting anything out of that. Man, we are so close to like getting something that might look pretty good here. I am gonna hit this with a little bit of purple shading though. I'm gonna probably hit all of it with like a little bit of purple shading. I don't know if you could see, but like I made the bone a little bit too watery, and because of that it's like not sitting correctly, so I gotta do a little bit more. Dude, I'm so excited to play more 40k. I might just ask my buddy to play 40. Since we both have off work tomorrow, I might just be like, yeah, let's play 40k. Problem is that when we play 40k, it's not going to be like a whole day, but it's going to be like a whole afternoon. Not that that's a bad thing, but like... I want to play my new army, right? And I want to play in person. But like EC is like nowhere close to being done. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow during the day since it's the day off. And like maybe tonight. God, do I really want to take my hand at Fulgrim and avoid it painting? Dude, I've been like so like against painting my I've been so against painting my my battle line. What if I do like the bone on the inside? I think the way that it works is that like crab claws like desaturate as like the lumps grow out, right? So maybe we do something like that. That might be cool. I was supposed to have not to sound salty. I'm not trying to be salty at all. I was not salty. But we were supposed to play like 40k yesterday. And like it's like the one of the last games of the edition. And I was like, bro, I'm so excited to play 40k. And like we were chatting about it. And like, you know, we just ended up not playing because one of the guys got caught up at work. And then he joined super late. And I'm like, well, it's our last day of 40k. Like, and we were gonna like 2v2 because we didn't have enough terrain at the shop. We only had enough terrain for like 2 games. And the last group of us were like, okay, well, we'll just do a 2v2. And we set up like 1k lists and everything. And I was like, all right, cool. It's our last game of 10k. Let's do it. And then it just didn't happen. That's all right, though. It happens. It happens. It happens. Okay, cool. I think we're good with that. Oh, gross. I got some here. That's not what I wanted. I think what we're going to do is we're going to fade. We're going to take the lighter colors of my stuff, right? And then we're going to fade into higher stuff. Hell, I could even make the claws and all this stuff like fade more into white. If I take like a Corvex white or something, and then I like dry brush it going up, if that makes sense. Okay, I gotta figure out how I'm doing the eyelid. I think I'm gonna do purple for the eyelid. The other thought is that I just do it the same color and let it blend in. That might be the best way to go. And then I hit it with like a wash. But for now, let's take the Gene Stealers purple. Right? We're going to take a Gene Stealers purple. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Xarius purple. And I want to make the transition color going up. Right? And I'm going to make it like wet so that when we start to get the see-through, you know, it doesn't work like it normally would. Okay, so here's this Gene Stealers purple. We're going to pull that in to the Xarius purple. We're going to mix that up pretty good. You know, I was going to just originally just pull it in and mix it that way, but instead we're just mixing the whole splotches. I'm wasting so much paper this way, and I have so little control over it. There are people who actually that are painting that are, like, cringing about this, but, like, that's fine. How's this look? Let's put a little bit on my model, test it to see how it looks. Okay, I mean, that could do it, right? But, like, it's still too bright. So what I need to do is, I want to take a little bit of the Xarius purple and go back in and darken it down. So we're going to kind of drag this out. So we'll put a Xarius purple, like, right there, right? And then we'll take a little bit of this and we'll scooch it back in. The only thing that this makes it hard for me to do in the future is like more shading. So let's see how that looks. Looks kind of the same. Let's see what happens when I hit this here. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's not great, but... So we're going to hit this with water. We're going to thin it down and we're going to make kind of like a glaze. Not a glaze, but we're going to make like a contrast a little bit, right? And then we're going to go over it. Or bring it down like this, right? So the idea is that we want it to, when it dries, it'll kind of fade into the edge. I mean, unironically, I think I'm just highlighting it at this point. I mean, that's all right. We could just stick with it being just highlighted. Now I want to hit this next with Warp Fire Gray. We're going to do that. And then I think I want to do... I want to see what it's going to be like to bring that eye up to like a yellow. So let's go Warp Fire Gray on the eyelid. Because like we want to completely go over this, right? That way we don't lose the consistency of it. Right? It looks like it almost belongs. You know, I was worried about like being able to like put other stuff in here and like make this look good, but like I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's actually coming out okay. Okay, now that that's there, let's hit this with a wash. I want to hit this with a purple wash. The Drakari, the Jirachi Violet. Sorry, Jirachi. The Jirachi Violet. Jirachi Violet. We're going to hit it with a Jirachi Violet. And then after we hit it with the Jirachi Violet, I'm going to start doing a little bit more highlighting. Once I figure out where I put that Jirachi. Dude. I don't know why I'm doing my Chaos Spawn now. I probably should have just done them like last after I got all my other stuff done. But I really wanted to do this. Brother, where did I put my Jirachi Violet? Jarvis, find my Jirachi Violet. I found my Magos Purple, but I wasn't using that yet. One sec, guys. Take a quick look to figure out where it would be. I used the Jirachi Purple. I could have sworn I put it to the side because I thought I was done with it. Not to pack up, but like, I was like, oh, I'm done with it for now. Dude, I'm crazy. I think I'm crazy. I think I lost my Jirachi Violet. So we'll put the bone back here. We'll put the Zurius purple here, Zurius purple here, Gene Stealer purple here, Scrag brown, contrast medium, Abaddon black, Slanesh gray. Oh, I gotta close this up. Dude, you are perfectly fine, man. Take your time. I am just chilling. We've had a ton of people come in and out tonight, so you are welcome to do whatever you need to do at the end of the day. Where the heck is my Jirachi purple, dude? I think I'm losing my mind. Oh, it's literally right in front of me. Guys, I'm the best. I'm literally the best. I've finished 2 boxes now. The work never ends. I got my shipping and more. Dude, that sucks. Sorry, 1 second. Silent King really needs the Empire back. True, dude. How are you supposed to have... He can't, dude. He's not that silent anymore. He's going out loud. He's going loud, man. Minutemen, thank you so much for the follow. Super appreciate it. Super appreciate it. This is very much like a... This is a very much like a chilled back stuff. Chilled, laid back things. While I try to figure out what I'm doing with my life. The cool thing that I learned about streaming... Sorry, 1 second. Dude, the cool thing that I learned about streaming this is that I cannot have to be like talking all the time, right? Like I can like just kind of work out stuff. I'm gonna move all my paints off here because it's very distracting, all this being in like the center screen. We can move all this to the side. I say as I lose all my stuff again. All right, so I think we're gonna take the bone color. No, bone. The bone's for the bone, man. We don't need any more bone. We're good. G&G. Oh my god, gang. The delivery just said, hold on, I still got some more boxes. Oh no. I think you're stuck. I think you're just going to be on Necrons for days, dude. Dude, you're in Necron City. I should have put another color underneath this bone before I applied it. I'm gonna be real honest. Bone onto black is kind of rough. Because it's a very bright color. Dude, that's insane. That's insane. Well, don't worry about it. You got this. Just keep going at it. Just keep going at it. Before you know it, you'll be done. Before I forget, I want to do this real quick. Just adding a little bit of shading for dynamic stuff. Oh, right. I was going to hit with Drachi. Dude, that's insane, man. At a certain point, you have to be done, right? You don't need to... Like, you're just done with your army, right? Dude, I feel that. I feel that. Okay, what am I going to do for this? This is going to be eyeball. I want to do like a pale yellow. I don't think I want to do... I'll be right back. I'm going to go get an orange real quick. It's more vibrant, but I kind of want it washed out. Here's a paint that I kind of hate to use, but I think I want to use it to step up to yellow. So there's this Chicaro orange that I really suck at using. I think this is a time that I really want to try to use it and see what happens. Dude, it's already 7:30. Have I been going for almost 3 hours? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. All right, let's use this Chicaro orange. So how are we going to step up to this? So let's take a little bit of the base coat, put it into here, right? Then we'll add a bunch of... We'll try to thin it down a bunch to get it to work on the eyeball. So we're going to go brown to orange to yellow, I think, which I hope gives me like a little bit more of a washed out yellow. If not, if it doesn't work and we just have like a thing, then whatever. Well, I got massive reinforcements now. Just received another 10 combat patrols and a few immortals. Dude, that's a lot of combat patrols, man. At a certain point, you're going to be drowning in combat patrols. I think at a certain point, you have to cut your losses with those, right? And just accept the fact that you're not getting it. Arson, I was watching a video I need you to see and comment on MTG related. Yeah, let's take a 2-minute break. I got time. Pass it my way. A wise man once said, "Never quit, as quitting is not an opinion. Now paint, my son, and build." True. True. Adam, it's not short. How long is it? I can throw it up in the corner while we paint. But I want to see how many cards you got hyped for. Yeah, throw it my way. Let's watch it. We can do a watch and react. Give me a sec while I do it. Is it something that I have to actively watch, or can I like watch and listen to at the same time? Because I don't mind doing both. You can watch and you can watch and listen. All right, give me 1 sec, Adam. I'll pull this guy up. Copy current address. All right, let's see what this is, dude. Let's see what this is. As I pull it up and put it on my screen, then I'll pop it up on top of other stuff. Because I know I feel a lot of these cards. I fell for a lot of these cards. Oh god, I accidentally oops! Copied the wrong thing. 1 sec. All right, we'll pull this up real quick. Oh my god. It is an hour and a half. All right, we will watch for a good decent chunk of it. You were right when you were like, this is not short. Okay, hold on. Let's put me in the other. Do I want to be in the other corner for this? So I got to figure out where this is going. I got to add this to I haven't added a source yet to this where I'm like actually watching a video, so I'll do that now. Browser. It's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I guess I got to add a new one. New window capture. Do not make the source visible. Window capture. Let's do this. I want to get this one. And then I need to filter crop. Sorry, let's get this ready as we do everything else. I didn't really, I wasn't really expecting to put too much reaction stuff up, but I actually kind of like this type of video. I think this is like a perfect like reaction video while we paint. $300 rate is going to be like 300, 500, 1,000. No, that's not 1,000. Let's do 750. 900. I think it was almost 1,000. Okay, that's fine. And then left is going to probably be like 150. Yeah, there we go. That is way too large. Jump scare, guys. My bad. I'll put it in the top left-hand corner, and then I'll add some opacity to it too, so that it can't just be... It's not just like free stealing their stuff. So we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Then we'll do it. It's Doom Whisperer. Dude, I know. It's so crazy, right? To think of Doom Whisperer. Do I even have an opacity thing? Nope, that's not what I want. Okay, well that's fine. We'll just put it in the top left-hand corner. Sorry, 1 sec. Nope, never mind. Okay. I lied. I don't have an opacity thing. Remove that. Remove that. You fell for the hype of this card at launch? Dude, the card's still great in Commander, though. The card is very, very good in Commander. One sec. We'll add a shadow to it just so that we can make it pop off. Yeah, I guess, dude, it's one of my favorite Commander cards. I love this card to death. Okay. We will put it in the top left-hand corner. And we'll make it very, very small. How's that? Is that too big, too small, just right? Figure it's out of the way.
That were overhyped when they were first. In this video, we'll be looking at cards that were overhyped when they were first spoiled and then fell far short of expectations once they actually saw play. Magic cards are notoriously difficult to evaluate in a vacuum, even for experienced players. So with pretty much every set that comes out, some cards are either over or underrated even today. However, there are some outliers where the gulf between the expected power and the actual tournament impact is huge. In a lot of cases, this was because the card bore some passing resemblance to a broken card from the past, leading people to assume.
So that's one of the biggest things, right? Sorry, I'm gonna pause as I talk for free. Sorry, hold on, I'm grabbing. I gotta grab a white that's not a white. And then I gotta grab a yellow. Hold on, one sec. Do I even have a yellow anymore? Guys, I don't think I have a yellow. Screw it, we're gonna do something weird. If it doesn't work, then so be it. Yeah, a lot of it reminds me of X card, but it's a little less good, and then it's always a flop. Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I feel it so. Like, yeah, you're like, hey, this thing reminds me of this. And then, it's straight up not that. Like, at all. I don't even think I have anything close to a yellow, right? Sorry, guys, I'm searching through my stuff. Actually, I technically have something a little closer to a yellow. What if I put, like, a washed down white on top of it? I'm sure you and me got clickbaited on some cards that were collectively around for, like, bootlegger stash. Yeah, 100%. Like, those cards were just fucking crazy speculated. The problem is that a lot of people started to sleep on stuff, and because people started to sleep on stuff, we got less out of it, if that makes sense. And people were very upset that we didn't get stuff.
Be similarly strong. The cards on this list aren't necessarily bad, they just weren't as good as people thought. Without further ado, let's dive in. Number 61, Scarb Ruinator. Scarb Ruinator.
Dude, Scab Ruinator was a card that, like, we thought was going to break standard because according to everything that was out there, Scab Ruinator was one of those cards that, like, should have been good. It should have been good. There is no reason why Control, like, people were going to play this card in everything that was, like, not great. It turns out having to exile 3 cards each time is way too high of a price to pay. Well, it's that plus doing it now. If Scab Ruinator were a card right now in Magic, Scab Ruinator would read... you have to exile 3 creature cards? Yeah, if Scab Ruinator were a good... To make Scab Ruinator good, you would have needed it to just exile a card. If that makes sense. And only a card. It couldn't have been, like... It was not... It just had to, like, not be just a thing. If it were any 3 cards broken, yeah, 100%. It would have been a control finisher. All right, let's resume.
Is often cited as a classic example of a trap card in the sense that it looked much better than it actually was, generating substantial buzz during spoiler season. Some people hoped it might be the next Vengevine. For 1 generic and 2 blue mana, you get a 5/6 flyer, an absurd rate that immediately grabbed attention. On top of that, you can cast it from your graveyard, which makes it seem even more resilient and appealing.
I mean,
But
it's good.
there's
It's
a
still
major
good.
catch.
It's just not great.
As an additional cost,
It's not busted.
you have to exile 3
Turns out
creature
Huntmaster of
cards
the
from your
Fell and
graveyard
Liliana the
just to
Veil were the
cast it.
OG good
If
cards.
you
Yeah,
don't have those
100%.
creatures available, the card simply does nothing. That requirement ended up being a huge problem. It demanded that you consistently fill your graveyard with creatures early in the game, which isn't something most decks can do reliably.
Oh, and Delver?
without
Yeah.
warping their
Hold on,
entire
I need to-
strategy. As a
Can't forget
result,
Dave. Yeah,
Scarb
dude, Dave the
Ruinator
Delver.
proved far more difficult
Ignore
to
that.
actually
I'm
get
look.
onto
I have
the
to look up something.
battlefield than people initially expected. Not to mention, the standard environment was dominated by Delver of Secrets decks running spells like Vapor Snag. Exiling 3 creatures and spending 3 mana to cast a Ruinator, only to have it bounced back to your hand for 1 mana, was a devastating tempo loss. Unsurprisingly, in the weeks after its release, the card's price fell dramatically.
I mean, that is a thing, right? Like back in the day when we were doing all these cards, right? Like the fact that like these cards could just easily just be like, okay, by the way, Delver is going to just out tempo you, because like unsummon was like a real thing in the format, you know what I mean? Like the removal just being unsummon was like huge in the format. So like Delver kind of sucked to play into, man. I'm not a huge fan of Delver, but like, you know, Delver really did suck. Yeah, you lost a life when you got Vapor Snag. That's true. You did go down in life the more you got Vapor Snag. It's crazy. I don't understand why they. I mean, like, to be fair, on paper, Vapor Snag was like, oh, hold on, we gotta follow. It's Dork X Mira. Thanks so much for the follow. Unfortunately, I put my alerts below it. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hoping you're having a good Thursday. I need to make a better overlay for this, guys. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will do it. Eventually we'll get this all sorted. I didn't think that putting this in the top left-hand corner, like, went over stuff. Yo, guys, we're almost at 650 followers. Isn't that insane? That means that I've gained, like, since coming back from, like, and rebranding and all this stuff, I've almost gained 75 followers. Isn't that crazy? Like, actively crazy? Like, who knew that, like, that type of stuff was, like... We're 5 followers away from 650. Guys, I am very, very excited. I need to put something in this eye to make it, like, stare at you. I know that's weird. This guy needs to, like, look at you with his eyeball. I know that's a little weird, but, like, have you ever considered just, like, having him look at you? Give me 1 second, Adam. I'll resume this in a sec. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this iris. Not that weird, to be fair. That's true. I think I did a really good job with him so far. I actually really like the way that he came out. I was so afraid because, like, when I put him together, I'm like, this is going to be rough. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Then I did it pretty well. If he's going to have a thing looking at you, so let's look at a beholder, right? I guess a beholder is one of the best ways to take a look at an eyeball. Beholder. He has like a circle with another like a circle, then a lighter color, and then a black iris. So I need a better circle in the center. What goes well with an orange? Oh, you know what we could do? I know what we're going to do. We're going to take advantage of the fact that we already have some of this made. I'm going to make the center of the eyeball, like, the viscous is going to be like the side like this. I know you guys can't see it, but I need like a lot of control here. Oh, I might have ruined it. See what I mean? What I was trying to go for? If I hit this with water real quick, I'll be able to pick it up. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Boop, boop. Hit it with water and then rub it away. Kind of got it. I'm going to have to hit it with another thing of orange to go back over it. But the idea is that, like, I want to be able to, like... I mean, I could just do a black dot in the center or, like, a dark red dot in the center. Right? That's a way to do it. Or I can, like, do, like, the white going in there. I mean, it would be more on theme if it were, like, purple, but, like, that's not really the way that we want to go. All right, let's continue with the next one. We talked about Scab Ruinator for a long time.
Achieve some fringe results in certain builds of modern Dredge. Number 60, Demi-Lich. Demi-Lich was one of the...
I saw a ton of people popping off with Demi-Lich. As someone that played Demi-Lich at the time, I know people are like, oh, this card's not great. No, this card's pretty good. This card's pretty good. And I don't remember this card being hyped up at all. So Ali Eldrazi played a ton of it. I don't know if you know who Ali Eldrazi is. I don't think Ali Eldrazi streams Magic much anymore. He might still. But like when I was doing stuff in the same circles, right? Ali Eldrazi played a ton of this card. This was like the card that you tried to play with Phoenix. All right, well, that sucks. That didn't really get there. Well, the white goes over it pretty well. Yeah, Ali Eldrazi played a ton of he played a ton of it. He was like super into it. It was like a pet card, and like you played it with Phoenix. I genuinely still think this card's kind of good. I actually might pick up a copy to play in Commander. I know that sounds really weird, but like that might be a fish card. I think in Commander it's probably okay. I mean, look, this card was pretty good. Look, I've ran into this card in Historic.
Most talked about cards during the preview season for Adventures in the Forgotten Realms because it could be cast from the graveyard and had a cost reduction mechanic based on spell.
We're gonna pause for 2 seconds. If they go, oh, every card that's been able to be cast from the graveyard's been a little bit overhyped, I'm going to call cap. Being able to cast something from the graveyard is very strong. I don't care what you're playing. No, they don't do that? Okay. Because I was going to say, a card being able to be cast from the graveyard enables a lot of strategies that you may not be able to do. When you have something like you must exile 4 instants or sorceries in addition to paying its other mana costs, right? That means that they're afraid of the card being overtuned, right? If it was just exile 4 cards, then it'd be fine. Demi-Lich probably would have been fine at just exile 2, but the fact that you have to exile 4 is crazy. Actually, well, we saw that from Scab Ruinator, right? But it's also easier to get instants and sorceries into the graveyard than it is to get anything else.
Spells cost. It was immediately compared to Arclight Phoenix. On top of that, its potential to recast instants or sorceries from
it's also once again specific cards that have to be exiled. Yeah,
made some people think of Dreadhorde Arcanist. Initial hype drove its price to around $30. Players expected it to be a multi-format staple in modern, legacy, and standard decks. Unfortunately, its flaws became evident pretty quickly. Unlike Arclight Phoenix,
how much is a Demi-Lich right now?
Flying and
I think I want one.
It has to sit on the board for
I want a Demi-Lich with an Ember Sand on it.
Attack to trigger its cast from the graveyard ability,
Demi-Lich,
making it a prime target for removal.
Ember Sand promo, $20.
To cast it from the graveyard, you must exile 4 instants or sorceries. This is a massive cost that competes with other graveyard resources.
I'd play the heck out of that card. That card's
Within
sick.
2 months of release, Demi-Lich's price had dropped below $9, and now it hovers around 1. Number 59, Aurelia's Fury. It's 1 red, 1 white, and X for an instant.
I think that card's still pretty good. It was played in Burn.
X damage divided as you choose among any number of
It was
cards.
played. People played the
Tap
fuck out of
each
this in
creature,
Modern
dealt
Burn.
damage this way, Players dealt damage this way can't cast non-creature spells.
You
this
did it
turn.
to make
When
sure that
players
you
first
played
saw
it
this
in the
card,
stuff to like get
expectations were through the roof.
the last
because it
little
was an
bits.
instant that could tap down blockers, silence an opponent, and deal damage to multiple targets. Players thought Aurelia's Fury
Okay,
was
this card
the
I definitely
perfect
got by
card
when it was
to
new. I
return
think
the
this
tide
card's
of the
sick.
game.
I think
In
this card's
reality,
sick.
though, while not a bad card, Aurelia's Fury was far from broken. Frequently, it ended up feeling like an overcosted burn spell that never quite did enough. People
It was
will
like
say
$40
it's a strong
per.
late
Oh, you
game
bought in at
option,
pre-release
but
prices
that
on it?
argument falls apart quickly. If the game has already gotten out of hand, this isn't the kind of card that's going to save you most of the time. It's very mana hungry too.
I disagree. I disagree with this person. So, they're like, oh, this card isn't great because this card's not going to save you if something goes wrong. That's not the point of this card. This card is a win more card, meaning like you go in and like you compound what you have, right? Like you continue what you previously have, if that makes sense. All right, we're gonna try something dangerous here. I know I did orange earlier to get the white to look good. It kind of looked good. We're gonna try to do an iris in pink. I don't think my skills are good enough to do it, guys. Pray for me. I don't know how to make circles. That's the problem. We're going to continue playing this.
To actually kill a creature and silence an opponent, you often needed
Sorry, I'm leaning in.
5
I'm
or
like
6 mana. By that point in a match, aggressive decks had often already won, and control decks had better ways to spend their mana, like Sphinx's Revelation. If you draw Aurelia's Fury early, meanwhile, it can also be problematic. Sitting with a few copies of this in hand while you only have 3 mana available feels terrible. That's really the core problem. Aurelia's Fury looks powerful when you imagine the perfect scenario, but in actual gameplay, it's often
good
just
enough.
stuck in your hand. Players soon
You guys can't see
cottoned
it,
onto
but
this.
good
After
enough.
pre-ordering for $30, Aurelia's Fury was worth less than 5 within 3 months of release, and kept declining from there. Number 58. Obnixilis the Adversary. It costs 1 red, 1 black, and 1 generic, entering with 3 loyalty. His +1 forces each opponent to either lose 2 life or discard a card, and if you control
This
a
card,
demon or
okay,
devil,
hold
you
on.
gain 2 life.
Hold
The
on.
minus
These are all cards that came up when I was a Magic content creator now. So I want to talk about this card. People are like, oh, this card is sick. This card's going to do whatever. This card did work. I don't care who you are when this came up. These are low on the list, to be fair. Okay. Yeah, but like, this one flopped in price because people realized that this was like one of the whole reasons that like SAC worked. This was like the Rakdos SAC. This was one of like the core pieces of Rakdos SAC, which was one of the biggest decks of the time. I don't know, man.
-2 creates a 1/1 devil token that deals 1 damage when it dies, and the -7 ultimate lets a player draw 7 cards and lose 7 life. Obnixilis also has Casualty X, which lets you sacrifice a creature with power X as you cast it. If you do, you get a non-legendary copy of Obnixilis with X starting loyalty. In theory, that means you can land 2 planeswalkers at once, which sounds incredibly strong. Early theory crafting suggested curving a shakedown heavy into Obnixilis, thus creating 2 planeswalkers, one with 6 loyalty, and thus close to its ultimate. On paper, it sounds powerful. Multiple planeswalkers, immediate pressure.
Dude, this is something that I need to like reach out to Sean to. This card was sick.
And a mix of
He played the
resource
shit out of
denial
that.
and token generation, but in reality it just didn't do enough. Obnixilis the Adversary failed to carve out a meaningful role anywhere. The abilities didn't line up well with what competitive decks actually wanted, and the overall impact just wasn't there. While it is strong on turn 3 when you have a creature to sacrifice, drawing Obnixilis on an empty board in the late game felt terrible. A 3-mana planeswalker with
How's this
3
look, guys?
loyalty that creates a 1/1 devil is rarely enough to stabilize a losing
Ads start in
position.
5
For
minutes.
all the early
Adam, we might
excitement
save
and
the rest of this for
comparisons,
another
it
day.
ended up being a complete miss. Pre-order prices for Obnixilis soared to $40, though they rapidly
Just because,
fell
like,
below
I'm going to be
$12
ending soon
and
because I got to
kept
take care of
falling.
some stuff.
Number
I got
57,
plans for tonight.
Bootlegger's Stash. Bootlegger's Stash generated a ton of excitement, particularly among Commander players. At first glance, it looked promising. Giving all your lands the ability to tap and create treasure tokens sounded absurd, but in practice, it usually didn't live up to that promise. The main issue is how difficult it is to get going. The card
So
is
Bootlegger's
expensive and
Stash is a
doesn't
problem
provide
that, like,
immediate value
there's more
unless you
things that you could
already
do
have
for
the
6
mana to
mana.
stop.
Like, there are better cards than this. The only time that it matters is, like, when you, like... The problem is that you do Bootlegger's Stash, and then you're usually tapped out, and it's like, what do you do with this? Like, lands you control have tap, make a treasure token, that's good, but, like, what are you doing after you do that? Does that make sense? Right, if you tap out for it, you usually have to really use it. Yeah, you have to wait to really use it. And also, what does this do that Wilderness Reclamation doesn't do for you? Does that make sense? Like, Wilderness Rec lets you untap all your lands, which is kind of the same.
Lands into treasures.
And you could also use, like, a storage land or, like, other storage stuff.
In other words, it requires a significant investment before it does anything meaningful.
However, this was with Reclamation Sage, and yeah, and Seaborn Muse. That's true. That's true.
Stopped running it altogether.
So
after a pre-order price of $65 in July 2022, Bootlegger's Stash was down to $7 by the end of the year, and currently goes for less than $1. Number 56, Grinning Demon. People lost their minds over this card in the run-up to Onslaught. Grinning Demon is 4 mana for a 6/6.
I mean, that
with at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life.
That's
you
a very
can
strong
also
card.
Morph it for 4 mana. Much like Balduvian Horde years
but
prior,
look at that art.
Grinning
Yeah, dude, that
Demon
art's
was
sick.
marketed as the modern Juzam Jin. A 6/6 for 4 mana was a solid stat line for the time, and the morph ability added a layer of trickery that players loved. People envisioned it as the perfect finisher for mono-black control decks, providing a fast clock that could end games before the opponent could stabilize. In reality, though,
Dude, that
the
eyeball
card's
looks sick.
tournament impact
Hold on, you
was
guys can't
muted.
really see it.
The
Let's take a
card
let me
Roar
show
of
you
the
guys real quick.
Worm saw a lot of play at the time, and
It's hard for you guys to
tokens
see.
traded with the demon, not to mention cheap
I think I
removal
did really
like
well with that
Innocent
eyeball.
Blood was everywhere. Losing 2 life
Let me
every
put the
upkeep
focus.
also turned out to be a much steeper price than the 1 life lost from Juzam Jin. In an era where aggressive decks like Goblins were becoming top tier, Grinning Demon often helped your opponent kill you faster than it helped you win. In the end, the Demon posted almost no competitive results while it was in standard. Number 55, Shadow Mage Infiltrator.
That
Shadow
card is
Mage
sick too.
Infiltrator
I don't care what
costs
anybody
1
says.
generic,
I didn't play
1
during the
green,
time that it
and
was
1
meant to be
black
good.
for a 1/3 creature. It
Look at
has
how that
fear,
eyeball came out.
so
That
it can
eyeball came
only
out
be
sick.
blocked by artifact creatures
Isn't that sick?
or black creatures, and whenever
It's the first time I ever painted an eyeball.
You get to draw a card. This card was
I wish I did a
designed
little bit
by the
darker of a
player
pink,
John Finkel,
but-
and at the time it carried a lot of prestige because of that. It appeared to be a
Hell yeah, dude. I'm
reliable
so excited
source
that I got
of
an eyeball to
card
work.
advantage, an evasive creature that
I now have
could
to go
keep
in there and,
generating
like,
value
paint
if
around the
left
eyeball.
unchecked. However, it never amounted to that much outside of its initial standard presence. The body is fairly underwhelming, and even with its evasion, it's not always guaranteed to get through consistently in more powerful formats. It also doesn't impact the board in a meaningful way beyond drawing cards. So
Shadow
while
Mage
it did
Infiltrator
see
was
some
played in
play
other stuff,
during
though.
its original
Oh,
time
it's
in
raid night
Standard,
tonight,
it
right?
was
That's what
never
we
a
have less time.
completely dominant
No,
force.
unironically, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go watch a movie tonight. I'm gonna go see the finale of Digital Circus in theaters. I went from hating that show to really, really loving that show. I thought it was so dumb. And then, you know, someone tells me, hey, you just have to stick with it, man. And then I stuck with it, and it was really, really good. So I got tickets tonight. So we killed, funny enough, the Heroic Raid came out Tuesday. We killed it on Tuesday. We killed it first pull. We're now progging Mythic because we don't have anything else to do. Yeah. Yeah. I was like a #1 Digital Circus hater. And then my buddy goes, you should really watch Digital Circus. Like, don't just stop at a certain episode. Go all the way through. Is it like a two boss raid? No, it's actually a 1 boss raid that goes in between stuff. So like we did our first raid, or sorry, it's a 1 boss raid to keep us. Basically, they needed to do raid boss testing to make sure that they could do flex mythic and let it be a thing. Flex mythic means that you can do mythic at 15 people instead of having to do it at 30. So you could do it anywhere from 15 to 30. So we have 15 on the dot. So we decided to do mythic. So Adam, we'll probably watch this next time we go painting. I'll hold off on it because I know you wanted to watch it. So I will hold off until you're in here as well. And yeah. We'll go from there. Let me just hit this with a quick shade. And then after that, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know that, like, this is a little weird of a thing. I mean, I usually only... It's only 3 hours, man. It feels way... Well, actually, it kind of feels a little more than 3 hours. But, like, that's because I've been having a blast. And, like, I don't stream as early as I did before. So we're going to hit this with a shade to make sure that it collects in all the holes nicely, right? Something, haha, holes. He said holes, right? We're going to probably be back on Pokemon Infinite Fusion either this weekend or on, either this weekend or on Tuesday. I don't know which. And then we'll be doing painting either more this weekend. Because, like, tomorrow's a holiday, right? So I might just spend more time painting. Just because I, like... Dude, I love painting. Painting's, like, one of my favorite things to do now. And I don't feel like it ruins anything by me, like, painting and then, like, you know, streaming it. Because, like, what am I doing? I'm literally just sitting here doing something that I would have already done anyway. I'm doing one of my other favorite things, which is... Excuse me. Which is just talking. You know? Oh my god, that's a lot of shade. Why'd my brush pick up so much shade? You know, I just love sitting here chatting with folks and, like, bullshitting, and I really like Warhammer, and, like, you know, love being able to do this type of stuff. So, like, this is, like, made for me. This hole was made for me! I woke up my cat by saying that. Sorry, kitty cat, go back to bed. So we're hitting this with, like, a stain, right? I might go through, and I might just touch it up, and then after this, I gotta highlight, right? I gotta do a lot of highlights. So... I want to go in there and I want to fix a little bit of the eyeball because, like, a little bit of the eyelid is still white. But also at the same time, I'm just like, dude, fuck it. You got this far. You didn't screw it up. That's the most important part. Do not screw it up. You know? So, did I open Slanesh Gray? Is that what I opened? Okay. I will do a tiny little bit of Slanesh Gray just to hit this. And then I'm gonna call it. So we'll do this, right? We'll hit this up like that, right? Just to give it a little bit of color. And then I will blend it next time that I'm on. So, like, this is supposed to be, like, my shadow, right? But, like, I'm hitting it, like, real quick just to figure out what the color is going to look like. Right, and then we go, like, a little bit over the top like this. This is the, like, I can't be asked to go a little bit more in detail. There you go, dude. He's just a little man. He's the little man that can. Then this is going to dry, and it's going to look real good. I'm so surprised how well I made that eyeball. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. If you are new to the stream and you enjoy this type of stuff, drop a follow. We are, we're almost at 650, dude. I can't believe I'm almost at 650, which is absolutely insane. I'm at 645. I don't even know what I'm going to do at 650. Probably nothing. Probably say thank you guys for doing this stuff. So, guys, I will see you. I'll see you Saturday or Sunday. Thanks so much for hanging out. Have a fantastic night. We're going to figure out who to raid. Oh, Kitsune's live. We could go to Kitsune. Who else is... Do I have a friend that's struggling on views right now? Give me 1 second. Dude, Hito's doing RuneScape. Let's go raid Hito, just because I always mean to raid Hito, and I never do it. Hito's playing RuneScape 3. So let's go say hi to Hito. Guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I super appreciate y'all. Have a fantastic night. Let Hito know I said hi. I'll talk to you guys soon. And yeah. Peace.
Video here.
YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow or Saturday. Peace out. Have a good one.